cheeky little games here tonight. Wait for us to say we're on, and guess what? That's what it says. Hey guys, how you going? So down BKR Sport, we are live for the Manly Seagulls taking on the New Zealand Warriors in a game that is actually really important here for both these teams, in my personal opinion. Look, I think Manly is eliminated, but they are still technically playing for a top 8 spot here today because, look, they are within 2 points of the top 8, but also, let's not be silly, let's not get silly here. They would need to overturn an 82 points differential of plus 102 and plus 20 between them and the Roosters. So, look, realistically, Manly fans, if you got any hope, you got to be winning this game by about 60 and then hoping that the Rabbitohs later on tonight beat out the Roosters by about 24 points. Otherwise, you're done. You just got it. That's why I've obviously got Manly on eliminated over here. I just can't see a world that does happen. But if it does, you'll know today. You won't know today, actually, because if the Roosters lose and the Dolphins actually get the cushy way through, because the Dolphins obviously won last week against the Gold Coast Titans, and they're above you by 67. Well, yes, no, you would be done because you're on the same points. We'll get into the ladder in a second, but the point is that Manly, this is your last chance of your last chance. There's not even a string. Like, the string is broken, but you're trying to piece it together. You're trying to piece that string together, and I can't see that you're going to be able to do it in time. It's like a Squid Games where they have to, lick the biscuit thing, the cookie thing, and you've already broken it, mate. You broke it. You can't piece it together. You're shot. You've been shot already. You're done. You're dead. You're gone. Stop trying to piece it back together. They've shot you in the arm 3 times already. Just to say, listen, we're about to aim it off your chest. This is Squid Games for Manly. They're done. But they do technically have a chance. Whilst the Warriors, they have to just win for the sake of winning because they've been on such a poor stretch overall over the last couple of months that they need to fire up going into the finals here with the fact that, yeah, sure, they are coming off of a close loss to the Eels where it was controversial, and they are coming off a win against the Titans, but, they struggled to get past the Dragons. They did do that. They got whooped by the Bulldogs, they got beaten by the Dolphins, and they got beaten by the Titans and only struggled to get past the Newcastle Knights a few weeks back. So, look, the Warriors haven't been great. They have not been great, and I'm surprised that I've been told that the massive underdogs here today. I think that's a huge stretch. I would have gone into this game relatively even. With that being said, though, this is Daly Cherry Evans, probable. 100% likely. 100% likely. Last game here for the Manly Seagulls. That is obviously a big-time change happening from next season onwards, where it's alluded to that he's going to the Roosters. I think it was a problem that he's actually let this go on for all this season. I think it's been a distraction. But with that being said, at the end of the day, this is his last game here for Manly. So they've got a lot to play for. They are also at Brookvale, but the Warriors, no matter what, will play next week. And depending on the Panthers win and also the Roosters game, and also technically the Dolphins, and also technically Manly, they don't know who they're going to be playing yet. Neither the Sharks or the Warriors know who they're playing yet. The Storm know they're playing the Bulldogs. The Raiders know they're playing the Broncos. It's just as simple as that for the top 4. But for the 5 through 8 range, there is still technically 6 teams that can be there. So no one knows who they're playing just yet. But all right, guys, let's get into this game. Obviously, later on tonight, we've got a huge game between the Sydney Roosters and the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Obviously, the Roosters, they must win that game. They must win that game. If they win, they would eliminate the Dolphins and also eliminate Manly, regardless of what happens here today. But if they lose, then they're probably going to miss out because the Raiders have rested all their players and the Dolphins have a full-strength team that they're playing on Saturday. I think it's tomorrow, isn't it? No, it's on Sunday. That game only means something if that game only means something if the Roosters lose tonight. So if you want any of those Sunday games to matter, whether it be the Knights and Eels or the Dolphins and Raiders, you need the Roosters to lose tonight and you need the Titans to win against the Tigers tomorrow. Otherwise, Sunday is just completely pointless and we're just doing it for vibes. But we will be live for it. Obviously, we'll be live for every single game this weekend. But guys, obviously hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. We're going to try and get to 40k by the end of the season. I reckon we can do it. I absolutely reckon we can do it. We're getting close now to, I think, 37,000. Shit, I don't know what we're on. I think we're close to 37,000. So smack that subscribe button if you are new here, and let's get into it. I'm going to mute this phone, and let's get into the 2-team lineup. So, the Manly Seagulls, they come to this game from 10th position, hanging by a broken thread, whilst the Warriors are in 6th position, and their season is kind of like a broken thread, but the thread's still intact. It's just like a little bit, how you going at the moment? You're just like, what's happening here with the Warriors? This is at 4 Pines Park in Sydney, Brookvale Oval. The ins for Manly, Clayton Faulalo and Simeone Laiafi, with the outs being Tofofo Sipoli and Tonatau Kuola. Fullback is Tommy Turbo, Tom Trbojevic, with the wingers being Jason Saab and Leha Bawade. Centers of Clayton Faulalo and Tommy Talau. 5'8" is Luke Brooks, with the halfback being Daly Cherry Evans, the captain in his last ever game for Manly. Front row forwards are Matthew Lodge and Siwa Takiaho. Number 9, Jake Simkin. Then the back row is Corey Waddle and Ben Trebojevic. 13, Jazz Tavanga. Interchange of Joey Walsh, Caleb Navali, Ethan Bullimore and Aaron Shuppi-Schupmeister, with the 18th man replacement being Simeone Leif-Afi, and Anthony Seibold is the coach. This Manly team, look, overall, I tipped them for 4th place this season. It's actually quite funny, right? Because if I look at both these teams and how I saw them pre-season, I had the Warriors for a bottom 4 spot, and I had the Manly Sea Eagles for a top 4 spot. Both teams have done the complete opposite of that. And that's why it is so difficult. It is so incredibly difficult to make a prediction pre-season. Because the Warriors, they had heaps of troubles, and they were going to, have to really kind of readjust after Sean Johnson and readjust going forward into their attack, which has kind of been a problem for them this year anyway. It's their defense that's got them to here. But they've gone from the bottom 4, not to the top 4, but they were top 4 for the majority of the season, and now they're in 6th position. And then on the other side, Manly, who I thought had a pretty good roster, I did have doubts in regards to Tommy Trbojevic and his health, and also doubts in regards to Anthony Seibold as a coach, but I did still back him in with their roster, and I think they should have done better this year. So it's quite funny that obviously I had these two guys at the opposite ends of the table, but the team that's made the top 8 is a team that I doubted, and the team that is not going to make the top 8 is a team that I had faith in, a little bit more confidence. So that's how the prediction game goes, guys. That is how the tipping game goes. But look, Manly, overall, coming in off a 40-24 win over the Dragons, scored 40 points, but also the Dragons the week beforehand lost 40-0 to the Rabbitohs. So, look, they're a team that gives up quite a few points. We're still able to get past Manly in regards to their attack. And then also there was the Dolphins game where they won 58-30, where the Dolphins love giving up points for fun. They've given up nearly 200 points, 190 points in the last 4 weeks. Manly scored 58. So it's like, look, Manly are scoring points here. They've scored 98 points in their last 2 weeks, but against two teams that, honestly, you can just easily smack through. You just saw the 17th place Titans put 30 past the Dolphins. Yeah, they lost the game because the Titans' defense is bad as well. But the point of the matter is that Manly love giving up points. So if the Warriors can score points, which they're not actually really known for doing this year, if they can score points, they definitely can win this game, because Manly's defense is not great. But then again, we saw the Broncos last night, who their defense isn't great, and yet they had great defense last night. So, things can change, especially in the last round where there's just a lot of pride to play for here for Manly, in my personal opinion, especially with Cherry Evans' last ever game. But they can obviously score points, which is the Warriors' forte is their defense, but the Manly Sea Eagles can concede points, and the Warriors' non-forte is their attack. So it is an interesting matchup in that regards. So look, that's Manly's lineup. Let's move now into the Warriors. They've got the ins of Tane Tuolpiki, and the out is Wade Egan. Big out there. Fullback, Charles Nichol-Klokstad, with the wingers being Daniel Martinez-Zelezniak and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Centres of Adam Pompey and Rocco Berry Van Club. You go to the 5'8", Chanel Harris-Tavita, and the halfback is my guy, Tanner Boy. Get around him. The front row forwards are James Fisher-Harris, who is the captain, and Tanner Stowers-Smith, with the number 9 being Samuel Healy. Back row of Kurt Gatewell and Marata Niokore, with the 13 being Aaron Clark, big old Ez, and the interchange of Tamati Martin, Eddie Jeremiah Tuava, Dimitri Kvamalga, and Leka Halasima, with the 18th man replacement being Tane Tuolpiki, and the coach is Andrew Webster. This Warriors team, listen, who has faith in them right now? Do you have faith in them? Look, Warriors fans, I think regardless of how the season has played out, you've got to be very impressed that your team has still been able to be highly competitive throughout the most of the season, where you've been top 4. I don't think you're going to win the comp this year. I really don't, unless there is a dramatic change tonight, next week against probably the Panthers. You would probably expect the Sharks to beat well, no, you wouldn't, because the Bulldogs are playing a full-strength roster, so you don't know how that game will go tomorrow. But, look, the Warriors probably, for mine, play the Panthers. Because there's a lot that can change, actually. There's a lot that can change. If the Roosters win, the Panthers lose, and then the Panthers would actually go to 8th position, and if the Warriors win, the Sharks lose, then the Warriors could go to 5th. But right now, the Warriors are in 6th, and the Panthers in 7th. They're playing each other now, but they could still play each other, but from 5th and 8th. So a lot can still change there. Overall, look, the Warriors came in, they lost 26-22 to the Eels last week. Controversial, but they still lost. Shouldn't have been making it close, even though the Eels have been playing some decent footy lately. Beat the Titans 32-18. Wasn't overly impressive, but they still did over the 17th place Titans. Beat the Dragons 14-10. Nearly threw it away in the end, but ultimately won that game. So, look, there's some positives, there's pros, and there's also cons to their last 3 weeks. But then prior to those last 3 weeks, they lost 32-14 to the Bulldogs. They got whooped in that game in the wet. They lost the Dolphins 20-18 by throwing away the game in the last seconds. Actually, if they had won that game against the Dolphins, they would have been playing for the top 4 here, because they would have finished above the Broncos with a win here on 38 points. Yeah, they would have gotten to 38 points. They actually would have gone equal with the Bulldogs, but their points differential is not good enough. But, you know, the week before that as well, they lost 24-16 to the Titans, and then you've got that Knights game where they had to rely upon a miracle on the siren to beat the 16th place Knights, who could still get the wooden spoon this year. So, in 2 straight games there, they made really hard work against the Spooners and the potential Spooners, and only one of them, and only just. So the Warriors I've got no confidence in them right now. I've got no faith in them right now, but I am actually going to tip them here today. I do think that despite the fact the Warriors are underdogs here, and I think they're actually quite considerable underdogs, which is interesting, I just feel like the Warriors are still a better team so far this season. I do need to see their defense really get back to their structure that they've been doing throughout the most of this year. And Manly do have high-paced attack, but it's just Manly's defense. If they're ever going to give up points to a team, look, I do still think that the Warriors are going to be able to do that, despite the fact they've got a lot of problems in their attack. Like, a lot of problems. Like, you look at the way their season's gone, they've scored 491 points here, the Warriors. Now, that's behind the Raiders, the Storm, the Bulldogs, the Broncos, the Sharks, the Panthers, the Roosters, the Dolphins, Manly, the Cowboys, and they're only 7 points in front of the Titans in 17th position, who have got 484, and the Warriors have 491. So that's for attack. So the Warriors' attack has been on par with the Titans this year in 17th. But defensively, obviously they've only given up 469 points compared to the Titans' 691. So that's where they get separated between the top 6 and in last position. But they've given up themselves 469 points this year, and that is only behind the Raiders, the Storm, who have played an extra game, so you're probably going to see the Warriors drop below there. Oh, no, sorry, it is still behind the Storm regardless. So Raiders, Storm, Bulldogs, might drop below the Sharks, but for the time being, we won't include those. There's 3. They've also conceded more points than the Panthers, but they might switch that up too. I doubt it, though. So there's 4. And that's it. So they are the 5th best defense so far this season. Whilst Manly, they've given up 508. Most of those points have actually been coming recently, to be completely honest with you. With Manly being roughly around the 7-8 range in regards to their defense, but that's not inclusive of recent note. That is just not inclusive of the last few weeks or so. The last few weeks, if you're going to go on it, they'd probably be down towards the 13-14 range, right? So it means they're giving up a whole bunch of points. But attacking-wise for Manly, they've scored 528 points, which, again, has also come from their last few weeks. So in their last few weeks, they're probably in the top 4, top 5, maybe top 4. No, they'd probably be in the top... They might be the best attacking team of the last few weeks. Again, who have they played? But Manly might be the best attacking team of the comp over the last couple of weeks against the Dolphins and also the Dragons. Again, look at the opposition there, though. So it is a really interesting and quirky game to read here in regards to stats, in regards to how the season's played out, in regards to what these two teams are playing for. I can see both results happening here. I can see Manly winning this one 13+. I do see a world where the Warriors win 13+, but I think that's less likely. It's quite funny that I can see Manly 13+ more than a Warriors 13+, but I'd be looking more so to be doing the Warriors 1 12 rather than Manly to win. So look, I don't. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, especially with the fact that Manly aren't really playing for something. We saw last night with the Storm. Manly are technically playing for something, but we saw last night with the Storm. The Broncos came in with the intensity and the drive for it, regardless of the controversy, and there was plenty of controversy in last night's game. I can't believe Broncos fans are saying the Storm had the referee on their side. That was ridiculous. But regardless of the controversy, the Broncos were still the better team because you could see that they were actually passionate for it. They had the drive and they had the necessity. Whilst the Storm didn't have the necessity, you could see that Munster was trying to get them going in like 60 minutes in, but it just couldn't really get going. And look, overall, there is a real separation there between teams that have a necessity to teams that are playing because it's a part of their job. And right now, for me, I do think Manly are playing for part of their job. Also, you could argue that for the Warriors, though. You could, because they're not actually playing for anything besides 5th or 6th. But they should have more to play for here, in my opinion. They really should, even though Cherry Evans and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to take the Warriors 1 12, but I can see both results happening here. In regards to the ladder, the Warriors are out in the field now. In regards to the ladder, the Manly Seagulls, they're in 10th position. They're on 28 points, equal with the Dolphins. If they lose this game, they will finish 10th for the season. That's just official. If they win this game, for the time being, they would go above the Dolphins, and they would go equal with the Roosters. Now, the Roosters have a plus 102 points differential. And the Dolphins have a plus 87 points differential. Manly have a plus 20 points differential, which is pretty much the same as the Warriors there. Now, if Manly win, then again, they're going to have to swing an 82 points differential with that Rabbitohs-Roosters game later on tonight as well. So basically, they have to win by about 60, and then hope that the Rabbitohs win by about 24, and then hope the Dolphins lose to the Raiders on Sunday, which is doubtful as well. So, look, Manly can finish as high as 8th. They're more than likely going to finish in 10th, even with a win here. Even with a win, they're probably still going to finish in 10th because I'm nearly back in guaranteed that the Dolphins will win that game against the Raiders convincingly on Sunday. Unless the Roosters win tonight against the Rabbitohs and then the Dolphins have nothing to play for. And it's just as simple as that. That's the Dolphins just kind of go through the motions, right? So look, Manly can finish as high as 8th, probably finish 10th, may finish 9th, but it's very doubtful top 8. Warriors, on the other hand, they're either 5th or 6th. If they lose, they stay 6th. If they win, they go to 5th, but they'd have to hope the Sharks don't beat the Bulldogs. The Sharks have a plus 91 points differential, whilst the Warriors have a plus 22 points differential. So Sharks-Bulldogs is really integral for them. That's tomorrow. But if the Warriors lose, that game doesn't matter. The Warriors will finish in 6th. But the game has started, guys, and Manly will receive the... Oh, my gosh. Cherry Levins is... Oh, no. Oh, no. The Warriors have scored in the first 9 seconds of the game. Is that the record? Has that just broken the record for the fastest score ever? Has that just broken the record for the fastest score in the history of rugby league? That would have to. That would have to be the fastest score. And it's Cherry Evans who's done it too. It is Cherry Evans who has done it as well. Sorry guys, give me 1 second now. I've got to refresh this score. Wowee. That is insane. That is actually insane. What a crazy start here. Oh, no way, Manly. That is actually crazy. So I'm just fixing the score here. We haven't even been able to get into the chat yet, and there's already been a score. That is actually ridiculous. That is actually ridiculous. And it's James Fisher-Harris who scored as well, mind you. What on earth has just happened? Sorry, I'm still fixing this scoreboard here because there was a bit of tomfoolery around. Let's just try and interact with that, and there's a lot of tomfoolery around right now, to be fair. A lot of tomfoolery. I don't know why this is just skipping a whole bunch. Okay, this is just what we're going to have to go with for the time being. So yeah, look, 9 seconds in, lads. 9 seconds in, and the Warriors have scored. Well, that's not how you want to probably finish off your career. They will get the kick, because guess what? Tanner Boyd does not miss. He does not miss. And there we go. This scoreboard's really annoying me right now. It's really, really annoying me right now. But it is what it is. There we go. So we'll leave it like that. Beautiful. Now we'll get into the chat. A lot's happened. A lot has happened already. That has to be the world record. Cryptic with the $8 donation says, are the Storm cooked for the rest of the season? If it is, give us a quad, Blaze. Quad. Look, I don't know, man. I would doubt them to win the comp with no Jerome Hughes, but they'll get Harry Grant back next week. I think it'd be a little bit too ballsy to be going and saying that the Storm are now done for the season based off of that. We'll see them against the Dogs in the first week of the finals. Obviously, we're still going to see the Dogs this week against the Sharks. With a full-strength roster. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Thank you for your donation. I'm really not too sure how to call that because I still think the Storm are good enough with Tyron Wishart, but they really need a healthy spot. And with Pappenhausen injured next week too, the Bulldogs have got a pretty sexy chance of getting through to that preliminary final by getting a win there. But fourth tackle here for the Warriors at the 30, and it's not waiting, it's Samuel Healy, and the Warriors nearly break through already there at the 45, fifth tackle. Up the wires says, up the wires. Sean James says, good afternoon, mate. Looking forward to today's games. Yeah, hopefully no controversy today. Gerard's Gold Footy Tipping Competition says, who's winning, Seagulls or Warriors? I've gone the Wires today, and this was before that early score. I did go the Warriors early on the basis that I feel like they've got more to play for, despite the fact that Manly are technically playing for a top 8 spot. That try there should just take it away from anyone's thought processes, right? 82 points differential swing. It's already 6-0, so that's an 88 points differential swing now. It's just not happening for Manly, and I'm seeing Manly fans having some faith. Look, I admire you. I admire you, commend you, but it's just not happening. Braden says, bro, what time's the game start? Probably about 4 minutes ago, mate. We've already seen a try, and it's going to see 40-20! This is a crazy game right now. This is a crazy start of this game. And now Cherry Evans is the one with the 40-20. Dasman says, dogs are absolute morals for next week. You're a muppet. Sean James says, 100 likes this game. Infinite Kiwi says, good year for the Wars. Whatever happens, good building year for us. Good luck, double back flipper. A double back flipper. Infinite Kiwi says, what happens, still making burgers, sitting down soon? Well, you missed a try, mate. You missed a try. Cherry Evans made a mistake. Jason Saab dropped it, and Warriors scored in the first 9 seconds of the game. James Fisher-Harris scored, Alpha Kappa. James Fisher-Harris. All right, so Manly now. They're 4 metres away here from the line after that beautiful 40-20. And that's his 41st career 40-20. So Cherry Evans on first tackle off to Matt Lodge, and it's going to be second tackle now 5 metres away. 4 minutes into the game. You don't even have a chance to breathe in this game so far. Cherry Evans, he'll go out to Ben Trebojevic, and that's awful defence from New Zealand. That is awful, awful defence from New Zealand. Like, it's not even great attack from Manly. That is just awful defence from New Zealand, and it's going to be 4 points to Manly in the corner. And as I said, Manly know how to score points. They've scored 98 points in the last 2 weeks against the Dolphins and the Dragons. You know, they know how to score points. They just don't know how to not concede them. And that's why you're seeing a lot of high-scoring games with them. But the Warriors being a better defensive team by a long way this year, or a decent stretch anyway, realistically should be, holding them out a lot better, especially considering they're a top 6 team compared to Manly, who are going to be making the top 8. So that's disappointing here. And look, everyone's going to blame Cherry Evans. Not Cherry Evans. Everyone's going to blame Watene Zelezniak again. Where's Rocco Berry? Rocco Berry is inside here. Watene Zelezniak is probably pushing a little bit too far, but at the end of the day, the Warriors' defense all crunched inside. Rocco Berry has bit off on the inside, and that's forced Watene Zelezniak to come in, and it was actually a 3-on-1 there of Watene Zelezniak. So everyone will blame him. Jay, I'll have to change the time zone. Everyone will blame him, but again, at the end of the day, I can't believe I'm having to be the biggest Watene Zelezniak defender this year, but again, it's not necessarily his fault. And Rocco Berry's actually injured here too. He's actually injured here as well. Okay, the clock should be fixed now. Let me refresh it. Clock should be fixed now, though. Oh my gosh, is this going to make me have to interact with it again? Yeah, it is. There we go. Okay, that's fine. Okay, clock is fixed now, and we're sweet. Nate J says, Wars were $2.50. That's great odds considering all that Wars had to play for. Yeah, well, they don't have anything to play for ladder-wise, but because they could play any of Panthers, Roosters, or Dolphins. Cherry Evans from the sideline will kick it, so it'll be 6-6, 6 minutes into the game. 6-6 with 5 minutes 40 gone here. It's been a crazy start to this game. Look, again, the Warriors aren't really playing for anything specifically. They're just playing for momentum, in my personal opinion. Effort Skid says, that's Cherry for you. Well, Cherry goes and makes the early mistake, gives the Warriors the points, and then Cherry goes and makes up for it with the 40-20, and then they get points themselves, Manly. GS Shakes 2 tries in 5 minutes. That's kind of what you see with Manly games, man. This is what you see with Manly games. It is no surprise. No one should be having shock horror. No one should be having shock horror at what we've seen so far, because this is Manly. Manly have no defense by any means, even though it's not necessarily their defense, really, they got that try. But they have no defense, but they have plenty of attack. It's very much like the Dolphins. That's why Manly and the Dolphins are both in 9th and 10th, because they're the exact same team. And then look at the... well, not really the Roosters Broncos. They're close enough to each other, but they've been a similar team to each other throughout this season as well. Third tackle now for Manly at the 33. DJ Shaq says, Watene Zelezniak and Berry, there's just no communication. Yeah, don't disagree with you. Yeah, I agree. I'm just glad you point that out, though, because most people will look to immediately blame the winger. And that happens with Loffy, that happens with every winger known in the planet. So fifth tackle now for Manly at the 45. Noel George says, oh damn, now here we go, tries on both sides. The issue here, though, is that Manly don't really care going into a high-scoring shootout. I don't think the Warriors would like to be going into a high-scoring shootout. This is going to be still fifth tackle here for Manly. No, they've called 6 again, have they? No, it is... Oh, no, it is 6 again. Okay. So that is Manly ball here at the 35. Okay, this has just been a wild start. Lagan says, another Warriors streamed another 80 minutes of explaining a winger's defensive duties. Lagan, that's what we do here. This is turning into BKR defensive duties for a winger, not BKR sport. BKR wing defense is what we should change the channel name to. Right-hand side, they'll give it up to Takiaho, Jazz Tavunga, and he'll be third tackle now, 20 metres away here from the line. And now 10 metres away from the line, 4 tackle, 7 minutes in. They roll it back to Simpkins. Simpkins off to Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans right inside and knock on Manly. And Warriors then also knock it on as well. So it's going to be a changeover. It shall be the change over. Oh, I just realised this isn't using...
Is this microphone better? I just realised I wasn't using the right microphone. Is that microphone better, lads? I saw the comment from TH. I think I was using the laptop microphone rather than my actual microphone here. No, now worse. Oh, okay. That's so much worse. Oh, okay. Okay, well, we're not going to do that then. Hold on. Okay, well, relax, lads. I'm getting a change. Relax. Gee whiz. You know, like, gee whiz. I'm trying here. I'm trying.
Is this one better? Is this the one? Is this the one? Maybe I clicked on and put the... Is this better? Friends, let's change it. Shush, Manly, get the ball out. The Warriors knock on. TH says much better. See, I wasn't using this, so I changed it from default to whatever the computer one was, and now I'm on this one. All right, we're back. All right, gee whiz. Look, listen to you guys, you know. And but by the way, with all the distractions, the first tackle for the Manly Eagles in the 15, we've seen Olivia go with the slap of $160 donation. Because of all this absolute schmozzlery, we've missed out on the whopper donation from Olivia. Says, another day, another dono. Happy freaking Friday, everyone. A girl of her word. Well, I did give you 13 plus yesterday, Olivia. I said, well, look, I don't see 18, but I did give you 13 plus, which it did, with 16 points Broncos. Second tackle for Manly at the 5. So it did actually kind of give you a little bit of grace, Manly. I don't think so. It's they've called try. Oh, they've called try. This is can we? Olivia, I'll get back to you one second. I appreciate you, but I don't know what's happening in this game. It's 10-6. It's 10-6 here to Manly. 10 minutes in. They've called a try. I thought he might have got held up. But Todd Smith has just immediately called it here. So Simpkin goes through a quick little scoot. Well, maybe he's got it on the second over there. Maybe he's hit the line on this side. I don't think he gets the first one. I don't think he gets the first one there. I don't think so. Unless he gets it on the second attempt, because he doesn't get the first one. So, yeah, Simpkin gets held up there. And then... No! Oh, and then maybe you lost the ball there. This is going to have to be checked. It ended up being grounded short of the line, and then it's been moved again because he doesn't get this ball down there. He went close, but his own hand stops him from getting it. I think this is a no try. And that goes short there. And then I think he loses that there. And also, anyway, regardless, the ball has gone down before the line and then been pushed across. This has to be a no try. Paul says, oh no, I just tuned in and immediately you have a bunker decision. Mate, you've missed a lot in this first 11 minutes. 10 minutes. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, guys. We're still waiting for confirmation here. Try confirmed. I don't know about that. Try confirmed. I don't agree. We're back again. Disagree with the bunker. I don't agree. I don't agree with that being a try. Because again, he doesn't get the first one, and then the second one is short, and then you would argue that Cherry Evans has missed a sitter from right in front. Ball don't lie. So 10-6 here. Manly 10, 11 minutes in. Yeah. Do you guys agree with that being a try or no? Yeah, there's a bubble in the second go. They're ruling he got it down the first attempt, apparently. No. No, bunker. No, they've ruled that he got this ball down in the first attempt. And then he gets that ball short, and then you'd argue he loses the ball. Anyway, I would disagree with that call. I would disagree. Anyway, it's a try time for Manly. Anyway, we'll go back to Olivia here. Appreciate you. Thank you very much for the dono. You always know it's greatly appreciated. G. Lincoln says, hi, I was just listening to AM radio and I got commentators crazy about this game. What the hell just happened? Thanks. What we saw is 9 seconds in, James Fisher-Harris scored a try from a Manly knock-on, and then Manly went up the other end and scored a really easy try. And then now Manly just scored a really controversial try, and will be taken down to 35 on third tackle. So, and Cherry Evans has kicked a 40-20 in that time as well. So that's why people are going crazy about this game. Manly now beat the 33. All right, Brenton says, and my birthday. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. This is the wrong one, is it? I hear you better now. This one better, Scott says. Okay, well, there's a couple of uppers there. Like it says, bunker the drugged up dope, selling my chances of winning $200 tipping comp winnings. Well, I just don't understand how they can say that the first touch went down when you could see that the ball was held up, and then that's what they've said is what they've confirmed. And then he's been rolled over. He is short by about half a metre, and then the ball gets progressed to the try line. I actually don't even necessarily mind the ball being progressed, but it looked like he got knocked on, because I do think the ball being progressed wasn't an attempt to move the ball. I do think it was just a lost ball that went over to the line, but they weren't even looking at that. And it's a penalty here to the Warriors at the 45 on the Manly side of the field. Levi says, weird because last week same team was a no try against the Dragons. Dragons, Manly, I can't remember. I watched the game, but I can't remember. Noel says, no try, FFS, another bullshit game. I hate that we're here already, eh? I was really looking forward today to try and get away from the controversy of last night and the fact that in our streams we have to talk about it quite consistently. And I hate that we talk about the officiating, but again, we're here talking about it again. So first tackle now at the 25. I don't think Todd Smith was wrong for calling it a try. I do think the bunker was incorrect, however. So the Warriors now 15 metres out, second tackle. Manly love giving up points for free in the last couple of weeks. Then go right-hand side, Healy, Aaron Clark, Tanner Boyd, short ball to the line for Marata Niokore, who's 5 metres out from the line, third tackle, 13 minutes in. 13 minutes in, Samuel Healy, he'll go to Aaron Clark, and he'll just run this ball straight. Gets the offload away to Fisher Harris, then to Healy, left-hand side, over the top, and it's going to hit Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, who is 5 metres out. Forward tackle. Now they give it to Harris Tavita off to Aaron Clark, and he's just going to run this ball to the 12, and he can't get the offload away. It's a fit tackle now for the Warriors. I want to see them play a lot more free-flowing. Oh, no. Fisher Harris knocks the ball on, and Manly are away. Ben Trbojevic gives it off here to Tom Trbojevic. Gives it off here to Tommy Talau. And Tommy Talau here's still going. Taking it out to the 45 on 0 tackle. Fisher Harris he's done that quite a lot this year, to be fair. He does that quite a lot. You know, he's a really big-time player, but he can make plenty of mistakes in crucial times. Oh, that's going to be a knock-on from the Warriors, so it's going to be a Manly ball at the 40. This is just a crazy game. Yeah, Olivia said I don't know about that. Aussie Mother says, seems like it might be a bad weekend for the bunker. Yeah, well, we've had 2 games. Well, we've had 1 game and 15 minutes so far. Don't start us on last night, and we've already seen a pretty dodgy try on this one. Ryan says, Mr. Daly paid off the bunker. Evan Skid says, Wires need the 7 from Eels and the 1 from Raiders, and they take it out next year. Give them $1 million each. Yeah, but see, the issue here is that, and there's a pretty big issue here for you, is that it's not going to happen. So that's all great. Like if the Titans had Nathan Cleary and we had Harry Grant in the 9, and then maybe we got Cameron Munster in the 6, and then we can keep Keanu Kenny in the fullback, we'd win the comp next year. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the Raiders are never giving up KO Weeks, and the Eels are definitely not giving up Mitchell Moses. All right, so the Manly Seagulls now 25 metres out, 6 again here, and they'll be 15 metres away now, first tackle. TI23 with the $2 donation. Get around your TI23. Appreciate you. He says, Bulldogs. Well, good luck tomorrow. Big game against the Sharks, both full-strength rosters. It'll be a really interesting game. We'll be live here for it, man, so I'm looking forward to it. Not that there's much to play for there for the Bulldogs, but there is a lot to play for the Sharks. Well, depending on this game, I guess. If the Warriors lose, then no, the Sharks have nothing to play for really besides momentum. Manly now 4 metres out from the line, 4 tackle, 15 minutes in. 15 minutes in, they go to Matt Lodge for a crash play. That was never happening. It'll be fit tackle here, 2 metres away from the line. New Zealand guy says, Wires win this easy. Well, none of the bunkers in control after what we've already seen. Sherry Evans out to Luke Brooks, out to Tom Trbojevic. Tom Trbojevic, that's a great pass to Lee Hapawade, and it's not looking like a Warriors with an easy win here. And it's 14-60 with the kick to come. Manly score, and Warriors defense is not looking great. Warriors defense not looking great. Well, look, Manly fans, if you want a little bit of positive belief for you, that's 8 points, and now from an 82-point swing, you now need a 74-point swing. So currently, you would need the Rabbitohs to win today by 74 points or more to make the top 8. Mounty says, did anyone see the NRL's post saying not to storm the field if AJ breaks the record tonight? Yeah, I posted it on my Instagram. I replied to it on my Instagram story. If you're not following me there, BKR Sport, go check it out. I feel like that message will make people want to do it more. Yeah, maybe. Well, all the comments are basically saying that. All the comments basically said it. Sports Baby says, should they change the rule for the bunker to check on forward passes? It's a hard one because yes, but also like you can make an argument for yes and you can argue no. I think that the bunker should have the ability to. But what's an obvious forward pass too? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you make that a rule? How do you make an obvious forward pass a rule whilst not just generalizing forward pass? Because if you generalize forward pass, and a lot of people don't understand that the ball, it's not if the ball goes forward that it's a forward pass. If the ball doesn't come out of the hands backwards, because momentum can happen. So a lot of people don't realize the whole momentum thing. So that's why there's a lot of like sticky situation in regards to it. And if you have a thing in the ball to say if it's a forward pass or not, and then that gets called up, Sherry Evans will miss the kicks. We'll say 14-6 here, 17 minutes in. If you have a thing like an alarm thing on the ball that goes back to the bunker or the referee if it's forward pass, I don't know if that's going to be able to dictate whether it was momentum or whether it was just simply forward. You know, there's a whole bunch of things. So I think if it's a very clear and obvious one, yes, but I don't know how you make that an actual rule to separate from just forward passes in general. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nate J says, $1 million each. What a week. Levi says, usually early days like start of the season calls like that aren't as bad, but we are in a really vital part of the season now. The correct calls need to be made. Absolutely. Especially last night. This game, not so much. There's a little bit riding on it, but not so much. So Manly now will get this ball to the 20 on first tackle. Like I said, Fisher Harris had a bit of a downfall this year. Agree, 100%. However, he has got a try here today. It was a gimme, though. It was a gimme. Olivia says, can I start on last night? The Billy Walters intercept almost made me cry. Fair enough, Olivia. fair enough. Ben said, oh, no, that comment's gone. Chat's going pretty fast. Fourth tackle now for Manly at the 50. Mitchell with the $10 donation says, just 158 more points for the Warriors are fourth. Yeah, look, Warriors, you still got a mathematical chance of coming top four. You just need to score about 1 billion points. So knock on from Manly, and it's going to be Warriors bought at 35. Thank you, Mitchell, for the donor. Broggy Sports says, hello, Mr. Streamer. Get around your son. Olivia says, rogue mod. Oh, New Zealand guy. Gee whiz, Jay's after New Zealand guy. Dasmate says, they never said anything in the post saying don't go on the field if he doesn't break the record. It's only if he does break it. Hey, that's big time thinking, Dads. That's the first time I've ever seen you use your full brain. Well done. Well done. Roger Tuivasa Sheck gets his ball to the 45 on Manly side of the field. Haven't had much attacking so far. They got one good attacking set before, but outside of that, Manly just had all the ball, and it's because they've been the better so far. Fourth tackle besides their early mistake. Harris Tavita will bring this ball to the 20 on fifth tackle. Now let's see this kicking game, Warriors. Let's see this kicking game. They go right inside the Tanner Boyd at the 20. Kicks this one up 5 metres out. Tommy Trbojevic with a good grab at the 10. Veneri Sam's mate, can you do a video play while you commentate? Well, you're looking for an illegal stream, so what's the key word there? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Illegal is the key word. Yes, you're looking for an illegal stream. So if it's illegal, do you reckon I can put the video on for you? Don't think so. No, don't think so. Mounty says 172-14 is my final score prediction. Yeah, look, the Warriors not looking likely for that, but we'll see how they do track on here, Mounty. Still 60 minutes to go here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. 20 minutes left of the first half, and Tom Trbojevic will get an offload away here at the 50. Ethan Bullimore had a great season, Bullimore. He gets away from one, he gets away from two. He's still going 35 metres away. Manly are all over New Zealand here. That should be 6 again, and it is 6 again. Warriors are getting absolutely done over in this game so far. The try was controversial, but Manly have been much the superior team. Warriors defensively have been just all over the shop. Right hand side, Simkin off to Jazz Tavanga, then off to Takiaho. It's going to be second tackle, 7 metres out. Every time Manly have been down here, they've scored. Every time a share screen's illegal, Correctamundos. His broadcasting restrictions. And another 6 again here for Manly. Tom Trbojevic! Wow, they've held him up. That's actually really good stuff. Who's held him up here? I don't even know why they're going to check this. They've got no try there. I think he's absolutely held up. Tom doesn't look like he's happy with it. I think Samuel Healy gets his arm underneath it, and that's why Tom's really fighting for it. Ball's still up, ball's still up, ball's still up. No way. Yeah, no chance. That'll be a no try. But with the bunker, you never know. You never know. That is really good stuff there, though, from Samuel Healy. Really good stuff. Really good stuff there. Evans gets to give the ball to Lecker. Well, he's not on the field. Sports Baby says, what's with Walsh painting his nails? That's because Walsh is a interesting character. Interesting character, that bloke. Oh, based on unavailable angles. So you would have called that as a try. Is that right, Bunker? Is that right? If the referee had have gone up with that as a try, you would have called that as a try, even though we blatantly saw the ball held up the entire time. Is that what you would have done, Bunker? Is that what you would have done? You're saying it's inconclusive. Well, it wasn't inconclusive. But anyway, Manly ball here, 5 metres out, second tackle. Arguably 6 again. At the back here, Cherry Evans. Didn't call it, though. Luke Brooks. Out over the top into Tom Trbojevic. And knock on Manly. It was a guaranteed try too, but lock on from Tommy Talau. Well, it was going to Hopewade for a hat trick early, but actually, is it a hat trick? Yeah, it would be a hat trick early, but Tommy Talau puts his hand out there. Oh, it's a forward pass anyway. Forward pass anyway. Well, Hallisima's on the field now. Infinite Kiwis is Turbo on a tear. Yeah, Turbo is looking on a tear today so far, but it is only 8 points. The conversion kicking game Manly has not been good. So they're only up by 8 points right now. But the Warriors have looked awful in this first 21 minutes. They really have. And the only reason they scored a try was off the back of a Manly knock on 9 seconds in. That's pinworthy from Seb. Oh my gosh, the Warriors shot the ball backwards and they'll get the ball at the 10 very luckily, but second tackle, they look all over the shop right now. Jeez, Hallesima, he'll get this ball to the 15 on third tackle. Yeah, Shax says, look at the strength of Sam Healy there. No, it was really good stuff. But you're getting really concerned about the Warriors at the moment. You've got to be really concerned. And we say this every single week, but today they look... Oh, Hallesima just gets whacked. Manly look really driven for this game. Like, they look really driven. Tanner Boyd with a kick just goes straight to centre. It's actually going to be not too bad there because it's going to sit in an area where Sub has to awkwardly pick it up at the 25. Actually, a pretty good kick there from Tanner Boyd. Didn't look good, but it ended up being good. Matty says that toilet water did Walsh good this week. Maybe we need to start drinking toilet water as a pre-workout. Hey, listen, Mounty, I'm going to give you a suggestion. How about you do it first? You do it first. I'm going to pass on it, especially being in Malaysia. I'm going to pass on it as well. But you go and do it. Let us know the results, mate. Let us know how much you're lifting at the gym afterwards. So, 4 tackle here for Manly at the 45. Olivia says, Plumber Luigi Walsh, Red Bull gives him wings. Don't know if I'd be saying that it's Red Bull, but you never know what he had for drinking last night. I might have had a few Jaeger bombs. So Cherry Evans gives it off to Luke Brooks, and he'll kick this ball to about the 10, where Chance Newell-Klukstad picks it up, and he'll run this ball out to the right-hand side, now 13 metres away, first tackle. Olivia says, no, he drinks them before games. He drinks toilet water before every game. Well, hey, Hallesima! Jeez, nearly got away. He'll be at the 22. Second tackle. Again, Warriors fans, you've looked awful, but it's only 8 points. You just need a couple of things to go your way. Maybe get a try before half-time. Bring it back within 4/2. And it's still well until the game on. But if Manly score next, like, Warriors' defense so far has been quite appalling. So left-hand side, Aaron Clark gives a quick ball there to Harris Davida. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. He will get this ball to the 50 on fit tackle. So who'd they just say, I think it was, who just went off with a hamstring complaint for the Warriors? I think they just said someone had a hamstring complaint. Tom Trbojevic catches that ball at 10, gives it off to Lee Hopewade, and he'll get this ball to the 20 on first tackle. Both Reese and Walsh are bathroom brands. I reckon he's setting up biggest marketing drop in 2025. Hey, it's a plan. You know, it's a money-making plan if I ever did see one. Not that he really needs the money, but you can never have too much money, I guess. Caleb Navali, the big Fiji, and Falaya brings the ball to the 35. Bit of Tossoviti. Bit of a whack there with the Tossoviti action. Left-hand side, Luke Brooks. Crunch at the 50. Arguably a high tackle there, but they won't call anything. 4 tackle. Now, Takiaho, he'll get this ball to the 40 on Warriors side of the field. Fit tackle. Broggy says, Barley's toilet water is supposed to give you superpowers. Yeah, I'm sure it does. You don't want to hear about what India's water's like. Tell you what, when I was in India for the couple of months, you just always... I never got sick from it, but like you just always got nervous about whenever you would have ice at a restaurant. You would even get nervous. And here's a story for you. Second tackle of the Warriors at the 10. Even a genuine bottle of water that you buy, you get nervous that it's a genuine bottle of water. You know, I was with a friend at one of the Humayun's tomb in Delhi. And I went and ball left inside. Warriors are away here. Warriors are away. Kurt Catewell, the 30, the 40, the 45, the 50. Kadam Navali can't get him. Tom Dvojevic, can he get him? Kadam Navali got him after Tom Dvojevic cut off that line. It's third tackle for the Warriors now. Fourth tackle for the Warriors at the 35. Tanner Boyd now. He's going to run this ball into the line. He's going to step a couple. He's still going here. And we taking down the 25th tackle. I would have passed that ball out to the right, but Tan's still got to the 20, I guess. They go right-hand side, and now the Warriors put it up in an interesting area, and Manly just get it. That was a broken set there from the Warriors. They had a breakaway through Kurt Catewell, and then they just threw away the set, really. And now Manly will be second tackle at the 13. Anyway, so I was at Humayun's tomb with my friend, and I went to buy us a drink of water, as in 2 bottles of water, and I ended up buying them, and then they told me when we got there, because it felt weird, but I went and brought the bottle of water over there. It was a Dasani or whatever, but if you don't look at the letters on the bottle in India, sometimes there'll be one letter changed, and that will show that it's actually tap water in a Dasani bottle, yeah? Fifth tackle here for Manly at 30. So, luckily, my friend told me, don't drink that, because in India they actually can drink it, because their body is assimilated to it, which means Leslie now gets the ball here at the 20. And he's going to get this ball back here to probably about the 40. Yeah, good run. All the way to the 40 on first tackle. So, yeah, if you ever go to India, guys, don't just trust any bottle of water. You really need to make sure that it's legitimate water. Nate J says, Walsh looked... Okay, not going to read that coming out. Mounty says, India's toilet water puts you into the ICU. Mate, water in general, it can put you into the ICU. So, third tackle for the Warriors at the 45 on Manly side of the field. Laurie says, Walsh left the Warriors to stay after COVID because Brisbane toilet water tastes better. Hey, are you saying that Australia's toilet water tastes better than New Zealand? Wow, another rivalry there for the New Zealand and Australian rivalry, and knock on from the Warriors, and that's going to be Manly ball here at the 30. 0 tackle. Lorena says, hi mate, what do you make of Melbourne's form? Were the Bronx that good? No Harry Grant, Jerome Hughes got injured. Broncos had something to play for. Storm had nothing to play for. Don't know why they played a full-strength roster. I think that... I don't know... The referee's going to stop the game here for, I think, HIA. Warriors trainers asked the game to stop here. I don't know if I'm willing to write the Storm off, but it's looking very shaky. But I think that their biggest loss last night was actually Harry Grant, and also the fact they didn't have the same kind of drive as Broncos did because the Broncos had something to play for. Michael says, just tasted the same. Michael, how do you know what toilet water tastes like? That's my question to you. That is my question to you. All right, so we're just waiting here for the clock to get back underway. 13 minutes left to the first half. A high, frenetic first 20 minutes. It's still been quite frenetic this last 7, but just no score. And forward pass to Manly, so Warriors will go on the attack. Warriors will go on the attack. Again, though, the Warriors have not been good attacking so far this season. It's been their defense, which hasn't been on show today. Scott says, is toilet water better than normal water? Okay, lads. Okay, I'm going to need to smell this. The old Thai herbal inhaler. I'm going to need to sniff that to get through that comment. Laurie says, how much is deodorant? Okay, no, we're not going down that path. We're not going down that path, Laurie. Let's ease it up. We're not going down that controversial path. Hunter says, hi, I know nothing about rugby, but I bet on it. Rugby league. Rugby league! I can tell you're American because you've called it rugby. Rugby league. Does anyone know if Tanner Boyd is going to reach 58 player performance? What is actually player performance? Is that like tackles? Is that... so this is a betting odds market. Is that tackles? Is that try assists, like tries, conversions and stuff like that? If that's the case, like, you probably assume so. Because Manly do give up points, and he should be getting plenty of conversions today. But I'm the wrong person to ask because I don't really bet. So I know this is a betting market, though. So third tackle, now fourth tackle over the Warriors, and they're 15 metres away from the line. Mounty, we're not doing it. We're not going down that path. Samuel Healy's going to run this ball himself, and 3 metres out from the line, fifth tackle. 12 minutes left of the first half. Rolls it back, gives it off to Harris Tavita. Harris Tavita at the back into Tanner Boyd. Tanner Boyd gives it across here to Charles Newell-Klokstad. Kicks his ball for Wateza Lesniak! Try time, I think. You'd back him in. This is going to be close, though. He's going to say... The touch is going to say he's over the sideline, but they're going to check the bunker here. You would normally back in the winger in this situation. You would normally back in the wing in this situation. And he's confident for it, but it's going to be close regardless. Lehigh Bawade gets across. Will make the tackle there. Will he get his feet, keep his feet in? I'm pretty certain he puts the ball down, but does he put his left foot over? Or has the ball come out of his hands? I don't know if he's actually put his hand... I actually do think he might lose this ball, but he keeps his foot up. Oh, it's probably simultaneous, which actually goes in... No, that would be a no try. I think it's a knock-on anyway, actually. It's super close. They're going to call no try based on the... Well, the ball is down, but I just don't think his hand's on it. Either way, they called it as a no try, so it went up there, and it's going to be a 7-tackle setter for Manly at the 20. They were never going to overturn that. So, no try. No try for Watini Lesnak and the Warriors. Good work there from Lehigh Bawade. 2 tries today, plus also that tackle to stop a guaranteed try for the Warriors. Dasmate says, tell me you're addicted to gambling without telling me betting on random sports, especially if you're American. If you don't know rugby league and you're American and you're betting on it, it means that right now, because I'll tell you the time zone, if you live in New York, it's a penalty to Manly. If you live in New York, it's currently 4:30 in the morning. If you live in LA, I think it's probably like, what, 1:30? Yeah, 1:30 in the morning. So, yep, they don't mind a bit of the old gambling, but we welcome you in, Hunter. We welcome you in. That's committed. That is committed. But Manly will get this ball to the 50 after a brilliant kick there from the 20. They have been the better team today, Manly. But they're only up by 8. So that tells you a lot as well. So Manly now at the 42. Similar game without the bucket loads of points across the first 40. Like the first 15, sure, but across the first 40 last week, it's a very similar game to that Dragons game. Caleb Navali gives it off here to Luke Brooks, and Brooks will be at the 30 on third tackle. 10 minutes to go the first half here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And Navali, he'll be 20 metres out, fourth tackle. And knock on from Manly. Leader Dark Fire says, the bunker and referees have been shocking the last 2 weeks, especially this week. We've seen a game and a half, and we've seen a lot of controversy, especially last night, and we saw that try for Manly today, which was debatable. But especially this week, yeah. Either way, though, Manly have been the better team, and either way, Broncos were still the better team last night, but a lot of more controversy last night. So they're challenging this here, Manly. He's saying he didn't lose that ball. Well, yeah, he's lost that ball. The ball's definitely lost. They're just going to see if Fisher Harris... Because how does Fisher Harris know this ball goes if he's not the one stripping it? Because he's on the other side here. There is a hand on the ball. There's no stripping motion there, to be fair. There's no stripping action, yeah. It's just a loose carry. Yeah, I agree with the call for the bunker. So it's going to be an unsuccessful challenge here from Manly. They lose their challenge, and obviously the Warriors still have theirs. But Fisher Harris does have his hand on the ball. He knows what he's doing. He's smart enough to know that he is doing that to get the strip, but he doesn't make a stripping motion with his hand, which is why he's going to get away with that. Shannon says, let's go Manly, crack 'em. Jared says, Tanner's assist this year between both squads has been remarkable. I want him to score so much. Yeah, he wouldn't have scored a try. Well, he's only been in the Warriors team for, what, the last 6 weeks now? 6 weeks he's been their halfback? That's a silly challenge, DJ Shaq says. Yeah, I think it was a little bit pointless. Being up 14-6, 10 minutes to go in the first half, I really don't think it was worthwhile. But it could have gone their way. It's just Fisher Harris. Oh my gosh, the errors from the Warriors today have also been poor. Knock on there from the Warriors. It'll be 0 tackle for Manly now, and they'll be at their own 42. Realistically, the Warriors knocked their ball on at their own 45. They should have just brought that ball forward 13 metres, but it's 0 tackle for Manly now. First tackle for Manly at the 45. 9 minutes 42 to go. Tony says, we can't win with our under-20s teams, Kevs. Just got to wait 2 to 3 years when they have more experience. Yeah, this Warriors team is struggling at the moment. Completions for the Warriors, 8 from 14. That is not good. That is close enough to 50%. And Luke Brooks is going to knock the ball on now. So it's going to be Warriors ball, 0 tackle at the 40. No, they're just going to say knock on both ways. So it's going to be Warriors ball at the 40. A lot of mistakes in this game. JXN has Manly been the better team, but they should be up by at least 1 or 2 more by now. I would agree. I think that Manly could easily fall away in the second half, but I just don't have faith in the Warriors' attack. You know, the Warriors' attack again has been really poor this season. Like the Warriors' attack is 491 points throughout the season, worse than the Raiders, worse than the Storm, Bulldogs, Broncos, Sharks, Panthers, Roosters, Dolphins, Manly, Cowboys, and close to the Dragons and close to the Titans. And when I say close, I mean only 13 points away from the Dragons and only 7 points away from the Titans. So that's the Warriors' attack this year. 6 again for the Warriors. First tackle at the 40. First tackle at the 40. Fisher-Harris rolls his ball back. They go right-hand side. Tanner Boyd off to Chance Nickel-Klokstad, and he'll get this offload at the back to, that's Jeremiah Tawava at the 30, and it'll be second tackle. They give it off to Aaron Clark, Tanner Boyd at the back, and geez, that was a bit of a hospital pass. Now Warriors ball at the 30, third tackle. Got absolutely whacked there by a good tackle from Tommy Talau. Now Aaron Clark will be 22 metres out. This is where I don't have faith in the Warriors. I don't have faith in the Manly defence, but I don't have faith in the Warriors' attacks. That's why it's an interesting battle here. Tanner Boyd, short ball into the line, close to 4, but it's fine. Fit tackle, no. Offload, Samuel Healy, who's been good today in my opinion. Healy gets his ball away. He's still going. He's 2 metres away from the line. Fit tackle. Healy's probably been the Warriors' best player today by far. Warriors 3 metres out. Tanner Boyd now 10 out. They give it quickly. It's going to hit Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, it's fit tackle at the 15. He gets it back. They get it back again to Tanner Boyd. Tanner Boyd will kick this ball across into a good area. Good chase from Halasima. But Manly grabbed the ball in the air at 5, and it'll be first tackle. Manly's lost the ball! But it's going to be a knock-on from the Warriors. It was a one-on strip, but then it will be a knock-on from Harris Tavita. So Manly ball at the 10. Not Harris Tavita, Chance Nickel-Klokstad. Tony says, hard New South Wales Warriors on top, baby. New South Wales Warriors. Michael says, why is the biggest frauds in the 8 or just injuries rattled them? Well, again, you know, Metcalf was looking likely to win the minor, not the minor premiership. Metcalf was looking likely to win the Dalian Player of the Year at one stage. I think he was top when it went behind closed doors before he got injured. With that being said, context applied, Warriors' attack still was very poor, and he is the halfback. So it's like, I think that they were a lot more structured and had a lot more plan with Metcalf as the half, and he was. Oh, Manly knock on. Oh, the amount of knock-ons in this game is incredible. So Warriors 0 tackle here at the 22. Manly are allowing the Warriors into this game if they so choose. If they so choose. Warriors quick hands, left-hand side, and it's Roger Tuivasa-Sheck here, who's at the 15 on first tackle. So, like, you do have to look and say, well, Metcalf wasn't actually still getting their attack into him. But I will say Mitchell Barnett was a huge loss for the Warriors. And Metcalf was too, but, you know, their attack still wasn't that great. 15 metres away here. First tackle. They go to Samuel Healy. Again, he's been incredible so far. 5 metres out. Second tackle, out the back here to Chance Nickel-Klokstad. Over the top here with Tainza Lesniak for an easy try in the corner. And that's poor defense there for Manly. Everyone had just really rolled into the inside. And it's going to be an easy 1-on-0 try for Tainza Lesniak from a great pass. I think it was from Chance Nickel-Klokstad. But it was a great pass at the top, and the Warriors are going to be back within 4 with a chance to make it 2, because guess what, Brenton? I don't know if you're still here, but you know what's about to be said. What's about to be said, guys, in the chat? I want you to say it for me. I want you to say it for me, because you should be knowing it by now. You should know exactly what I'm going to say right now. Come on. It's up to you, guys. Tony says, Healy carves up a New South Wales Cup, should start over Egan. I do think that Egan is a bigger name, and that's why people prefer him there, but I do think that Healy has been doing well when he's in there. Lid Darkfire, he doesn't miss. See, Lid Darkfire gets it. Brenton don't get it. And Sean James gets it, never miss. You get it. Dasmay says Stokes 13 plus. You're getting timed out for a minute. Yeah, you're getting timed out for a minute, because you don't get it. You don't get it. We'll see you in a minute, Daz. We'll see you in 1 minute, mate. You don't get it. You know, I try to make you get it. I try to make you get it. I do my best to make you get it, but you don't get it, Daz. You just don't get it. Ryan, you're going to join Daz. You don't get it either. You don't get it either. You got 1 minute as well. You got 1 minute as well, buddy. So 14-10 and Manly. 4.5 minutes to go the first half. I did say the Warriors just need 1 try to get within by half-time, despite their very slow start. Again, they have not been the better team in this first half, but Manly have made a lot of errors as well. Olivia says he doesn't want money. Who doesn't want money? What? He doesn't want money. All right, Tanner Boyd. He done missed. Tane says Tanner Boyd doesn't miss, baby. He doesn't miss. He doesn't miss. So Tanner Boyd here from the sideline. You know, call it over. Call it over. Call it over. He's decided to forfeit the kick. He has decided to forfeit the kick. So the Warriors will stay 14-10. Really nice of Tanner Boyd and the Warriors here to just make sure that this game stays 4 points. They want a little bit more of a challenge to really overcome. You know, they want to overcome it. So Tanner Boyd and the Warriors will decide to forfeit the kick. They won't take the kick because they know Tanner Boyd's guaranteed for it. So it will stay 14-10 here to Manly. 4 minutes 22 to go. Mitchell says, what a generous bloke. He's a very generous man. He is. Very generous man. Very generous man. Tony says, been watching you for a while and I didn't get it. What a fake supporter I am. Love your work, brother. Well, appreciate you, Tony. Appreciate you. Don't miss. Don't miss. It's just lucky for the Manly Seagulls that he's decided to forfeit a kick. Like it says, leadership decision there from Boyd. Yeah, that's exactly what you're going to see from Tan. It's exactly what you're going to see. I'd never seen him miss in my life. Lekahara Seaman now. Oh, big run to the 15 on first tackle. Also, for people who... if anyone asks about forfeiting a kick, please read the room. Second tackle here for the Warriors. If you're about to ask what forfeiting kick means or anything like that, please read the room. Tony says, Warriors come back in the second half. Well, maybe. It's only 4 points, and they have definitely... Well, both teams have been quite poor, but Manly have been the better still. But Warriors are starting to find a little bit of something in this last 5 minutes. They're already at the 45 on Manly side of the field. Fifth tackle, and Tanner Boyd, he's not going to miss that kick, all the way down to the 15. Pinpoint position from him, that's exactly what he wanted. And Tom Trbojevic will be taken down to the 14. Ryan says he misses all the damn time. Ryan, you're a silly man. You're a silly, silly man. You just don't get it. You just don't get it. That's 1 minute. Maybe Ryan's looking for a 1 minute timeout to get to the 5 minutes. You know, he's already on 2 minutes now. He's already on 2 minutes. Olivia says, you didn't read my comment. I need a try score for my multi. I'll give you 10% of my winnings. Try score in this game or next game. Sorry, Olivia. The chat's going a bit fast. This game's been crazy. But, you know, I appreciate you. But which game are you talking about? Manly get a penalty here at the 35. Manly get a penalty at the 35. So far, it's been Warriors' first try, then Manly 3 tries, and then Warriors get a next try. Obviously, Warriors decided to forfeit a kick, but Manly missed there too. Next game. Okay. Well, I do like a bit of Nwanga to Wase. But do you want me to go easy or do you want me to go a little bit askew with a chance? Do you want me to go? Because I'm going to go with a Roosters player. I'm not going to go and just be a Muppet and say Alex Johnston. But I would be looking at a Roosters player. Oh, I tell you what. Cameron Murray's a bit of a shout off the bench. First game back all season. First game all season. Cameron Murray. Wouldn't mind him off the bench. But that would be way too risky. Up to you, up to me. Manly! Dropped a ball. It was a 6 against. It would have been no advantage play, but it went backwards regardless. Lee Upward at the 15. Wait till half time, Olivia, in 2 minutes' time, and then I'll do it. Make sure to remind me at half time once we go through the stats and whatnot. So right-hand side, they give it to Simpkin. Simpkin off to Ben Trbojevic, and Trbojevic is going to be 7 metres out here from the line. Warriors, you cannot concede here after finding a way to stay in the game despite it being as awful as they've been. Matt Lodge, 5 metres out, third tackle. Third tackle, 5 metres away. Jake Simpkin, he'll go out the back to Cherry Evans, then off to Luke Brooks, Tom Trbojevic, and they go short to Tommy Talau. It'll be 4 tackle now at the 5. 5 metres out. They roll it back to Ben Trbojevic, off to Luke Brooks, 4th tackle at the 15. Cherry Evans, back to Caleb Navali. And Navali being at the 10. He has been impressive this back part of the season, Caleb Navali, in the last 4 or so games specifically. Luke Brooks, they've been finding some good space down here. And another error from Manly will be Warriors ball to 10 with a minute 15 to go the first half. Olivia said, I have AJ, Marky Mark, and Daniel Tupou already. Okay, well, you know what? Let's go a bit of Angus Crichton. Let's go a bit of Angus Crichton. Let's mix it up with a back rower. Let's go away from the backs, and we'll go Angus Crichton. That's what we'll do. I reckon he's up for one. Haven't been really impressed by him this season overall, Angus Crichton, but I think he's up for one here today. Especially considering that's his old club. So the Warriors on first tackle at the 15, 45 seconds left of the first half. If they can score before half time and lead, that'd be insane. Warriors now, they get this ball to the 20 through Pompey, and it'll be second tackle, 34 seconds left. Lagan says, the NRL even advertising people to not rush the field as a joke. AJ needs 3 to break the record. I don't even think the Rabbits score 3 as a team. I think the NRL is actually I think they're actually doing a little bit of alluding. I think they're saying don't do it to kind of suggest maybe it might happen. Warriors get the offload away, and the Warriors get this ball to the 45. They're still going here. It's 14 seconds left. Halasima's still going. No, it's a knock on. So that should be... No, knock on Manly first. Okay, well... So it's a double knock on. This might just be the end of the first half. So are they going to give the Warriors the ball here, or is that half time? No, it is half time. Okay, so Manly lead 14-10 in a pretty wild game, to be fair, where both teams are making a ridiculous amount of errors, especially Manly. Manly have clearly been the better team overall, especially for the first... Well, excluding the first minute of the game, but especially the first 20, they were very dominant and looking red hot. But, you know, the Warriors have found their way to score a try in the last 5 minutes or so there that brings them back within contention. It's only a 4-point game here. Manly have made a stupid amount of errors, and look, honestly, so have the Warriors, man. But, you know, plenty of action still coming here in the second half. Warriors... They're playing to get a chance at 5th, whilst Manly, their season's done. Like right now, minus 82 points differential down. They're minus 78 points differential down now. They would need the Rabbitohs to win by 80 tonight. So, you know, good luck with that. So the point is that that's not changing. But let's get into these stats here at halftime. Like I said, Olivia, we're going Angus Crichton. So Marky Mark, Angus Crichton, Alex Johnston, and Daniel Tupou. I like it. We're on fire. But guys, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Let's get to the stats at halftime. Possession-wise, try scorers first. Leho Pawade, Jake Simpkin, and Leho Pawade again for Manly. Whilst for the Warriors, they scored in the first 9 seconds of this game. James Fisher-Harris, and then also Dallin Watene-Zelezniak. Possession-wise, 54% for Manly, 46% for Warriors. Jeez, that completion rate from both teams is abhorrent. It's awful. Time of possession is 13 minutes 59 for Manly, 12 minutes and 6 seconds for the Warriors. That's basically 26 minutes. It's okay. It's nothing too red hot in regards to the time of possession across the game. It means there's a lot of errors. There's also tries that are being scored that takes away minutes, and there's also a few penalties involved. But let's get to the completion rate here. Yikes. Yikes, lads. So the completion rate, you want to be seeing at least 80%. That is a marker. That is the flatline minimum you want to be seeing. Manly are at 67% with 19 from 28, and the Warriors are even worse at 65%, 13 from 20. Manly have made 9 errors. They have incomplete 9 sets in the first half, whilst the Warriors have incomplete 7 sets in the first half. They're 13% and 15% behind the basic bare minimum marker of 80%. It's not good. it's not good from these teams. Attacking wise, but here's a little bit of solace for that. They're both just as bad as each other. There's not just like a one team's going really, really well, like the Broncos 95% at halftime, whilst the Storm were at like 67%. And this game, they're both at 67/65%. Runs-wise, Manly 98. They've had 18 more runs than the Warriors, 17 more runs for the Warriors. This will update at half-time. They're at 81. But 98 runs of Manly, 855 run metres. So they're about 125 metres behind the 10 metres on average per run that you're looking for. That is a very solid number, but it's still what you're looking for. So they are 125 metres behind that, whilst the Warriors are at 81 for 758, which means that they are behind by about 50 metres on the 10 metres on average per run. So the Warriors are actually getting more metres out of their runs. They're getting a lot more metres. Again, Manly are down by about 134 now on their runs for the 10 metres on average, whilst the Warriors are down by about 50. So as we can see here by the average set distance, which we'll get to in a second, Warriors are quite in the advantage there. If you wanted to give the 10 metres an average per run, which is relatively fair, but it's still an unfair because they're not hitting the 10 metres an average per run, but they're not too far off it. You give 17 extra runs for 170 metres to the Warriors. They go to 858. They go to 928, which is about 70 more than Manly. Now, if you want to shave off about 30 to make it more fair, the ultimate fact here is that the Warriors are actually doing better with the run meters in this game with the amount of runs that they've had. So it is a positive stat there for the Warriors, despite the fact they are on merit down by 100 metres, but that's with 17 less runs. Post-contact metres is 287 for Manly. Warriors at 254. Difficult metric to read. It's off by 33 metres in Manly's favour, but they've had the 17 more runs. You would probably give roughly 40, 45, maybe 50 at best to the Warriors there, so they would be just an advantage in the post-contact as well. Line breaks is 3-2 Manly, so very similar there, but Manly just with a little bit better. Tackle breaks, though, Manly with 23, Warriors with 14. That's a missed tackle count. So 23 missed tackles for the Warriors is ridiculous. 14 missed tackles for Manly is actually pretty good. So we'll get to the defensive stats in a second, but that's bad for the Warriors, and that's really good for Manly. Now, average set distance is the opposite. So 25 and under is turn the stream off, it's pathetic. 25 to 30 is disgusting. 30 to 35 is underwhelming. 35 to 40 is hitting the marker. 40 to 45 is great. 45 to 50 is fantastic, and 50 plus is basically perfect. Manly aren't even hitting the 35 metre mark. They're at 30.58. They're on the extreme low end of underwhelming. They are not hitting 35. They're close to going to the disgusting category of less than 30, and it could update that way. I'm not too sure, and this is coming from their errors. So 30.58 is just simply not good enough for Manly on the average set distance, and that's why when you see the Warriors here of 37.93, which isn't incredible, it's mid to upper end of the hitting the marker category, but it's still 7 and a bit meters in front of where Manly are at. And that's a lot. 7 and a bit meters per set extra for the Warriors in that first half than what Manly were getting. So that's why you could see the Warriors' run meters, despite being down, if you give them the extra runs, they actually do equal out to more. And that's why 7 metres is quite significant for the Warriors there on the average set distance, despite the fact that that's still in just hitting the marker. It's nothing great. And then you go to the average play the ball speed. 3.29 and below is extremely fast. 3.3 to 3.39 is fast. 3.4 to 3.59 is average. 3.6 to 3.79 is slow. And 3.8 and above is extremely slow. Now, the Manly Seagulls and Warriors are basically at the same rate here of slow. 3.75 seconds for Manly, 3.7 seconds for the Warriors. So they're creeping up towards the extremely slow category. Warriors are dead smack in the middle of slow, but Manly are only 0.05 away from going into the extremely slow category. So this play the ball speed isn't as fast as the game actually looks right now. Then you go to the offloads, it's 7-5 Warriors ways, or a lot of offloads from both these teams in this game. Kick defusals, 83% for Manly, 50% there for the Warriors. And then you go to the 40-20. Obviously, Manly kicked a 40-20 right after they made that mistake early for the Warriors try and then scored a try themselves. That was a huge twist in the early part of the game. Then you go to the defensive stats, and both teams are awful. Both teams are really poor here, which isn't a surprise if you've watched this game. So 85% and below is disgusting. 85% to 88% is underwhelming. 88% to 90% is hitting the marker, and 90% and above is incredible. 85.21% here for Manly. That's extreme low end underwhelming. May as well chuck them into the disgusting category, but they're not. 85.21% is 0.21% above that, but it's still the extreme low category of underwhelming, and it's not good enough. 144 tackles made for 14 missed tackles and 11 ineffective. So basically, they're not having to make as many tackles. Their missed tackles is underneath the average of 15 to 17, so that's actually good. 14 is actually really solid there, considering that's under the average of 15 to 17 by 1 on the lowest end. But the ineffective tackles is average of 6-7. So they're 4 above the highest of the average there in the ineffective tackles, which is really hurting their defensive effective tackle percentage, which is an individual tackling metric. It's not a collective metric, it is an individual tackling metric. Their missed tackles aren't too bad, but their ineffective is really poor, especially with the fact that they've had to only make 144 tackles. So if you do try to equate it to the 171 the Warriors have made, Manly probably are towards that 15 to 7. They probably are towards the 16-17 mark for missed tackles, but that's just based off of trying to give them an extra couple with the makeup of the 27 extra tackles made. So based off what we've actually seen, though, 14 missed tackles is really good, but the ineffective tackles of 11. That's not good at all. But the Warriors, they're even worse. They are in the disgusting category. They're at 84.24%. That is not good. That is really, really poor. 171 tackles made. So they've had to make 27 more tackles than Manly. 23 missed tackles, though. That is 9 more missed tackles than Manly. It is 6 more higher than the 17 average, 15 to 17 average. The highest of the average is 17. It's 6 more than that. So the Warriors are missing a bucket load of tackles, and their ineffective isn't much better at 9, because the average is 6-7. They're at 9. So that's 2 above the upper end. So at least with Manly, they're underneath the average for the missed tackles, but above the ineffective, whilst Warriors are above the average in missed tackles and also above the average in ineffective tackles. So 84.24% is well and truly deserved there for the Warriors, but the reason why it's still so close with Manly is because they've had to make that 20 7 extra tackles there. But both teams defensively not good enough. Manly just a little bit better in regards to the less tackles made. Then you go to the negative play. Oh, dude, the negative play is wild stats. So an average is 5.6 for errors. 4 and below is great. 7 and above is awful. Manly are at 10 errors in the first half. They have made an error for a quarter of the game so far. For a quarter of the game so far, Manly have made an error. 10 errors is insane. 10 errors is basically what we saw from the entirety of the... Well, and last night had a lot of errors in that game. But basically that's what we saw across the game. Oh, no, Melbourne still had 14 or so. Point of the matter is that is awful. And the Warriors are at 8. So they're still above the average of 7 by 1. But Manly are above by 3. If Manly didn't make so many errors here, they would actually win this game by a lot. But then again, the Warriors are also helping them out as well. So this is a really bad stat here for both these teams. Penalties conceded is 2-1 against the Warriors. That's not too bad. Ruck infringements is 4-2 against the Warriors. That's bad for the Wires. And then inside 10 metres is 2-1 against the Warriors, which is not great, but it's fine. Overall, both teams, errors, they really, really suck here today in regards to errors. Both teams, discipline. Warriors, worse off for sure, but nothing too crazy overall besides the ruck infringements against the Wires. Both teams defensively on an effective tackle percentage have been poor. Collectively, I'd say on the eye test have been both poor as well. Offloads is similar. Play the ball speed is both slow. Line breaks are similar. Average set distance is now 38.29 for Warriors. That's 8 metres above where Manly are at. Their run metres are just simply better. The Warriors, despite the fact they're down by 90 metres, if you equate it, they are doing more with the ball when they've got the ball. Just got to limit those errors. Same thing goes for Manly though. The completion rate, both teams awful, and then the possession is in favour of Manly. So, look, I'm still going to back in my pre-game prediction of a Warriors upset, and it's funny that it is an upset because they are the team in 6th compared to Manly, who aren't making the 8 and they're in 10th. But I am still going to take the Warriors, but there's just no confidence at all in this game. There's no confidence. Like, how can you have confidence in this game when you've got Manly making 10 errors and the Warriors making 8? We've seen 18 errors in the first half. There's 40 minutes and a half. We've seen 18 errors in that time span. That is nearly an error for half of the game so far. That is 2 errors off there being an error for half of the game right now at 20. That's how bad the errors are in this game. That's how ill-disciplined this team is these two teams are in regards to holding the ball. So, whilst it might sound heavily critical, there's a reason why it's heavily critical. Because one, the Warriors are probably going to be facing the Panthers next week. You would assume there's no guarantees on that at all, but Roosters is a better chance for them to go through, because if they play this style of footy against the Panthers, you're gone. You're gone next week. Warriors, your season is over next week if you have this many errors in this game against the Panthers. But if you play the Roosters, there's a chance because they can make plenty of errors themselves. If you play the Dolphins, there's still plenty of chance for you to actually go through as well. But I just can't see you beating, and that's what you're going to be thinking about right now as fans. Like, you're playing probably the Panthers next week, and this game is just simply not going to be good enough for you to beat them. Whilst Manly, I don't give a shit about next week because they're not making the finals. So I'm going to still tip the Warriors to get over the top here, but I've got no confidence in any tip in regards to the rest of this game. Wesley says, go Eagles for 9+ in the first half and 1 of 12 at full time. Well, they didn't win by 9+ in the first half. They only won by 4. Nate says, Sandow never shouts, trust me. Sandow? Chris Sandow's a shout? What are we talking about, Chris Sandow? What's happening here? What's happening here? So one says, be glad to the back of some of these shit teams for another season. Dude, if you're not having fun now, you wait until Sunday. Because again, if the Roosters win tonight against the Rabbitohs and the Tigers tomorrow beat the Titans, both games on Sunday mean jack shit. They both mean absolutely nothing. And it's not like they're good teams, because the Raiders are playing a completely B squad team, if arguably C squad, because B squad would be a couple of players out here and there. C squad is when you take everybody out, right? So they're playing a completely understrength team against a Dolphins team that we've seen how awful they've been the last few weeks. And that game would mean nothing if the Roosters win against the Rabbitohs tonight. And it probably still means nothing because the Dolphins will win if they've got the intention based off of a Rabbitohs win as well. So it will mean a lot for the Dolphins, but it won't be a fantastic matchup. But then on Sunday, on Sunday we've got the Knights and Eels, And it's like, if the Titans don't beat the Tigers, then the Knights can't get the spoon. And the Eels and Knights are just... Like, the Eels have at least shown some prideful footy, but there's nothing to play for there at all. So Sunday, we're going to sit here for the vibes. We're going to be live for every game regardless, but we're going to be here for the vibes, because I'm scared about our mental health on Sunday, having to watch all those teams if there's nothing to play for. Now, Warriors are out in the field. Manly coming out now. Second half is coming up. Manly, last 40 minutes of their season. Brent the 10th says, do you think the Warriors make other teams play bad, but also play bad themselves? It's hard to watch. It is hard to watch, Brent. And I think Warriors fans here, I think they can agree. I don't think Warriors fans would be arguing with you or myself here and saying that Warriors games are very difficult to watch. Obviously, we are watching them, and we're hoping they can turn it around, but they just haven't been turning it around. And it is a difficult slog to watch this team. I'm not going to lie. And that is on the basis of they've promised a lot this year. They've over-delivered on their expectations, but then based off of that over-delivering early, they've then promised a lot, and then those promises aren't being fulfilled based off of that. So it's like, you look at their season individually, without the context pre-season, and you say, well, they were top 4 for most of the season, but there was a lot of worries there, but they still gave their fans a lot of confidence they could go all the way, and they've completely fallen off a cliff. If you add in the pre-season, then you're like, regardless of what's happened, they've done a very good year this year. But there's a lot of things to kind of think about here with the Warriors, in a lot of ways, where it's like, it has been disappointing, this back-end stretch. Yes, they've had a couple of injuries to Mitchell Barnett and also Luke Metcalf, but you still would have expected a bit better from them overall post that as a defensive structure, because their defensive structure isn't the same as it once was, and their attack has never been good this year. Anyway, the second half has started. Thumbs up and subscribe. 4 tackle for the Warriors, and they're going to beat the 40 on their own side of the field. Brent says, not up to finals footy at all. I would agree. This Warriors team, I would give them maybe a shout against the Roosters, but I do still think I'd tip the Roosters. I think the Warriors would beat the Dolphins, despite the fact the Dolphins beat them a couple of weeks ago, 20-18, but that was in the last seconds. The Warriors were the better team, and the Dolphins are a worse off team than when they were out then. So I would probably tip the Wars. But against the Panthers, I'd be loading up on Penrith. I'd load up on them. And it's a penalty against the Warriors here for taking a player past the horizontal. So Manly get a penalty at their own 20. Laurie says, do you think the best teams that have the core players play together longer, right, with timing of injuries, which interrupts combinations, right? Because Waz had this last year too. I don't think the Warriors will win the comp with Luke Metcalf anyway, but sure, like the team who wins the comp is going to be the healthiest team at the end of the year. The team that wins the comp could be any of the top 8, realistically. No one's laid complete claim. You'd lean with the Raiders, but no one's laid complete claim. So anyone who's got the healthiest roster and the fittest roster at the end of the year is usually going to be the one to win the comp. That's why the Panthers have rested Nathan Cleary, even though they've said he's injured a lot of points. But a lot of people believe that Nathan Cleary hasn't necessarily been injured in previous years in the middle part of the year, but he gets rested for the finals, and it's worked out. That is just a conspiracy, just to confirm. Third tackle here at the 40 for Manly. Larkin says, at least the Eels have been playing with pride recently. Yeah, they have. Yeah, they've been doing some... Oh, Luke Brooks away here. That's really poor defense from New Zealand. That was pathetic. There's no way that Luke Brooks should have been scoring that try. I'm sorry, Manly fans, for giving you a really lackluster try score here, but that is just so poor from the Warriors. Like, Luke Brooks has just walked through the line there and then just scored an easy try to the post 2 minutes into the second half here. You know, this is why we criticise. He's 40 metres out, and both Aaron Clark and also Vaimalga have just missed a normal tackle. Just a normal tackle. It's not a difficult tackle here. I know that's great coming from someone sitting on the couch here, but at the end of the day, when you watch rugby league, you know that's not a difficult tackle to make, and they've just missed an easy one. So it's going to be a 20-10 ball game here to Manly, 37 minutes to go of the game, because right next to the post, so you would assume they get the kick. Wesley says, Eagles 1 at 12. Maybe Nate J says, I got Toya, Watson at any time, Markey for 2, plus AJ, plus Dry Gray for 2 tries. Yeah, we'll see, man. We will see that one in the next one. Tataya says, was really low. Froggy Sports says, try time, bing bong, mudda bish. Infinite Kiwi says, sold them a dummy. Wow, a little easy. I don't even think it was the dummy. I think it was just a lackluster effort from Vaimalga. I don't think Vaimalga bit off on the dummy. I just don't think that he had the intensity to make the tackle. Seb Watson says, Wise getting slapped in the 8. Well, yeah, you can't go past it right now. And Cherry Evans will get the kick. It'll be 20-10 Manly. Now, this game isn't over. I want to really reiterate this to Warriors fans. This game is not over. You could win this game. But even if you win this game, do you think it changes your mindset about where the Warriors are at? Because it's not going to change my mindset about where the Warriors are at. It'd be exciting. It'd be great to see. You'd probably have Warriors fans online saying Warriors win the comp. But realistically, go deep inside and think, if the Warriors come back and win this game, are you going to change your mindset and think that they are a legitimate team? Because there is so many problems in this first 45 minutes that have emulated their last 2 months. Brent says, worth taking the kick. Yeah, Manly will take the kick this one. Tanner Boyd forfeited before. Manly will take that kick. Attack's not there for finals footy. When's the attack been there, Infinite Kiwi? When did the Warriors have attack this year? Can you pinpoint it? Because if you look at the stats, there was no attack this year from the Warriors. The reason why the Warriors were in the top 4 was because of their defense, which was a top 4 defense. Fun fact for you, when Luke Metcalf was their halfback, they were actually 5th last for attack across the year, despite being in the top 4. And that's because their defense was so good. But that's why I still took the Warriors today, because I thought their defense would be much better, but just not. And that's why I think Mitchell Barnett is actually the key loss for the Warriors throughout the year. Seb Watson says, wasn't someone saying they wanted the Panthers yesterday? That is exactly what someone was saying yesterday. And big bomb there from Manly. It's going to bounce at the 35. They throw it back, and it's going to go to the 45, and they knock it back again. This is actually going to work out for Manly, kind of. Charles Neal-Clockstad gets that ball at 25, and he'll bring it out to the 30, but it was a scuffed kick from Manly, which luckily bounced them to get another kick away. Aussie Mozzie says, whoever's playing Warriors in the finals gets a free win. I think Roosters is a tough one, but I'd still take Roosters 60-40. Panthers, I would nearly go 100%. I'll go 99-1 just for the sake of upsets can happen. And Panthers can be a bit shaky. But I will say the Warriors beat the Dolphins if they got in. Well, Chinese Celeste now get the ball to the 45, but I would say it's a 60-40 swing again, but Warriors way. I think that's their only real solid chance of getting people to back in the Warriors next week. Left-hand side, and they give it off to Tanner Boyd. Fit tackle. Pretty good kick in a good area. Good chase. And it's going to be Manly ball at the 15. Tom Trebojevic, now the 20. Two-Tie says, nope, not changing my mind at all, mate. Ain't no improvement. That's the thing. You know, it's good to see that you say that, because a lot of Warriors fans online will go the opposite, but that's just because they're backing their team, and I fully understand that. But realistically speaking, like, they should have been up 20-10 over Manly based off of how they expect their season to go, with Manly not playing for anything really besides Cherry Evans' last game. Matt Lodge now at the 35. It'll be 4 tackle. Globby says Warriors downfall or not. Well, about 2 months ago we were talking about that. So Manly fit tackle here at the 45. And this is the thing, like, I want to see the Warriors do well. I've said for a long time now, throughout the majority of the season, anyone who watches my streams regularly knows my best grand final, Manly will get taken down on fit tackle at the 40 on the Warriors side of the field. So Warriors ball. I don't know why they didn't kick that. My best grand final for the promotion of the game and the best financial benefit to the game of NRL would be Warriors Bulldogs. I would love to see that. I like the Warriors, you know. But I've also got to be realistic here and say that the Warriors are not doing anywhere near enough to show anything of any sorts when it comes to the finals. But anything can happen in the finals, so hopefully they can change it around. But we've been saying that every single week for the last 2 months. Second tackle for the Warriors. And now Fisher Harris, he's going to have to lead them over the line here. 45 metres out, third tackle. Yes, Blaze hated the Warriors. No, I hate you, Andrew. Right-hand side, Tanner Boyd. And Warriors away here. Warriors away. Oh, Jeremiah 12 gets away from him again. He'll be at the 20 on fourth tackle. 20 metres out. Tanner Boyd out the back here to Harris Tavita. Harris Tavita. They flick it across, and that's going to go over the sideline. Yep, that's going to go over the sideline. It's just stupid there from the Warriors. It's just stupid. They just try to get the quick taps going, and nowhere near that. I don't know why they put so much power on that ball, but it will be a mistake from the Warriors, and the Manly Seagulls will get the ball at the 25. Someone says, Kekake would have too much attack and points to them. Can the Warriors score 30 points? It's a good point. If the Warriors played this style of footy, the Manly and the Dolphins are the same kind of team, so I guess you would probably go and tip the Dolphins. I'd lean with the Warriors still. Oh, they've lost the ball here. Manly, and it's going to be Manly ball still at the 22. They say it goes backwards. Highlands fans, why is our attack so bad? It's been bad all season, man. Second tackle here at the 25. Vasma says, can't wait for AJ to break the record tonight. I would love to see it. I don't see him getting 3 tries against, I think it's Mark Nwanga Tawase's side. But I would love to see it, obviously. We will obviously be live for that game. Andrew says, so Blaze hates me the same amount he hates the Warriors. Does that mean he actually loves me? No, I hate you and I love the Wars. So fit tackle now at the 40 for Manly. Laurie says, a disconnect in the Wars team. I remember when RTS had the breathe in, breathe out going, not anymore. RTS has actually been running the ball back strongly whenever he does get the ball. Manly knock it backwards. Manly will score out of the post here, and Warriors, wow. Warriors, this is rough, bro. This is rough. 24-10 with the kit to come. 24-10 with the kit to come. And just a pretty regular kick there from Luke Brooks. Manly with a good chase, however. And Chance Neil-Klokstad goes up for it. Does Tommy Talau touch this? Oh, it might go backwards. We'll have to have a look at it. It definitely hits the arm of Manly. We just have to see an angle to see which way it goes. I'd probably say it may go backwards. Yeah, is this last week revisited with the Warriors game? That's ballsy of the commentary to speak about. I want to see an angle here of where the ball goes. It's not really showing us an angle at the moment. I want to see an angle from the other side. They keep showing this side. Because if that goes forward, that's a knock on. Or does it hit Chan's hand? I want to see an angle from the other side, though. They haven't confirmed the try yet. They're still slowing down. They're going to check it. They're going to go to the bunker here, lads. Oh, no. The video just went to the... No, it is try confirmed. Okay, so don't worry about that. For some reason, the video footage went to Todd Smith. Usually that means there's going to be a bunker review, but they have confirmed the try, so it's just a mistake in regards to the camera booth. And that's going to be a conversion. 26-10 to Manly with 30 minutes to go of the game. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Infinite Kiwi says, mate, he's jumping at the man. No, there's nothing wrong with the attempted grab. It was just about whether it was a knock on or not, and they've said that it was fine. If I'm going to complain about a try, I would complain about the second try for Manly, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was the second try for Manly, but I'm not overall complaining too much about this one. This is the angle I would have liked to see. There's no way you're going to be able to overturn that and say that went forward. Yeah, no, try. Yeah, no, maybe somewhat, yeah, okay, potentially, said Watson. But it's going to be a no. Sean James says, this game is like when the ugly lights turn on in the nightclub. Confusing. Dude, that is the worst feeling, eh? Especially knowing that you've been at the nightclub until closing, and then the lights come on. I saw a funny video on Instagram the other day, actually, where one of the DJs did a big build-up, and then as soon as it hit the clock, that was when the beat was meant to drop, and the lights came on, and he didn't play the beat. That would have been the most ugly feeling ever in that nightclub. So Manly third tackle here at the 25. Right now, Manly, they need the Rabbitohs to win by about 66 points, and penalty to Manly at the 30. Well, right now, Manly fans, the game that's hurting you the most, you could make an argument the loss to the Titans was a big loss to your season, and I'm going to claim it. I think that Tigers game 3 weeks ago is what ended your season. Because the Raiders and Roosters and Bulldogs are kind of regular losses, normal. I think, if anything, you would say your biggest loss this season that has impacted you not making the 8 was the 28-8 loss to the Titans. And I hate to bring that back to my team, but, argue it. Tell me I'm wrong. Because you should have been winning that game. And you ended up losing by 20. And also, 20 extra points would make this a 46 points right now. That'd take you to plus 66. You're still 42 points behind. You're still 42 points behind the Roosters, but that's probably your crucial one of the season. Manly now 10 metres out, fit tackle. They go right inside. Sherry Evans, he kicks out, and Warriors are away here. Warriors are away. Harrison Vita flicks it off, and Warriors still going here. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. He'll get this ball to the 40. Great run, though, from Roger, and it's going to be first tackle here for the Warriors. 40 metres out. And now Samuel Healy goes right outside Tanner Boyd. They get it, passing it quickly, but Halasima will just get this ball to the 45, and it's good defense from Tommy Talau, and they slow it down, and Manly now all back on side. Well, Warriors, you have to be the next to score. And you have to score relatively quickly. I know there's still 28 minutes to go to the game, but they were down by a decent enough margin to the Eels and then came back to potentially lead before controversy hit. But that was the Eels and not Manly. Samuel Healy gets away from a couple. Again, Healy's been great today for mine. Can't blame Healy if it is. And 4 tackle for the Warriors, and they'll be 40 metres out. And that should be 6 again for mine. Yep, it is 6 again. So 6 again for the Warriors, the 40. Laurie says, every time it goes to the bunker, if you're a Wars fan, you think, yep, other team has got the call. Sure, but that wasn't necessarily the wrong call in regards to that last try. The second try for Manly, I think, was the wrong call. But in regards to that try, I think it was fine. And it says, losing to the Eels and Titans became both. No, because at the end of the day, the Eels are a rival and they're a trickier game. The Titans were in 17th, and the Titans, no way, should have been winning that game against Manly. But they won by 20 points. So I would say the Titans one holds more significance because a lower team, and the Eels are still a trickier opponent than the Titans. Second tackle here for the Warriors at the 30. I know you want to get yourself involved there, but I will look more of an emphasis at a game that they should have more so definitely won in that Titans game. Harris, not that they shouldn't have won against the Eels, but they definitely should have beat the Titans. Third tackle here at the 30. Samuel Healy is going to go right inside to Aaron Clark. Aaron Clark, Tanner Boyd. Tanner Boyd short ball into the line, and Nia Corey gets a good tackle from Luke Brooks. And Luke Brooks is having a good night. Arguably should be 6 again, that. They don't call it. Tanner Boyd into the line. Aaron Clark. He will be 4 metres out from the line. Fit tackle. Score here, Warriors, and you can get yourselves back into the game. Samuel Healy, Tanner Boyd right inside. Warriors are going to score through Charles Nickel Klokstad. And it's going to be 26-14 with a kick to come. And it should be a 10-point game because guess what? Have you ever heard this before? Tanner Boyd done miss. And I'm sure being down by 16, now down by 12, he's not going to forfeit the kick. I'm sure of it. You know what? I'm even going to guarantee it for you. I'm even going to guarantee you they don't forfeit the kick and he does get it. That's what happens. Albus, where's the Roosters game? Right after this, mate. Roosters Rabbitohs will be live for that right after this. I can't live stream when the game hasn't started yet. Don't know if you know that. GZ says they will never let the Warriors win an NRL championship. Can you look at this game and genuinely say that you're only losing it based off of the referees? Because I'm going to heavily disagree. I'm going to say, yes, that second try for Manly, I don't believe should have stood. But at the end of the day, the Warriors have also been just awful. Try confirmed here for the Warriors. And that's the issue. Watson says, should ask Olivia about getting beneficial calls after yesterday. Damn, going for Olivia's throat. My goodness me. To be fair, Olivia does admit that Xavier Coates was taken out and Stagg should have been binned. Globby says, my old man hates watching Manly, even though he's a big fan. Fair enough. You know, I'm a massive Titans fan, but so they do actually decide to forfeit a kick. Oh no! Why have they decided to forfeit a kick there? So it stays a 12-point game. 26-14 Manly. Gee whiz. That's really impressive that they've decided to forfeit a kick again. Oh, it was a kick right in front of the post, basically. I can't believe they decided to forfeit it. Brenton says, I've seen that. Yeah, you see him forfeit it. Yeah, nice. Yeah, really, really courageous stuff. Sean James has 49 likes. Yeah, come on, guys. Smack the thumbs up button. Let's get at least 75 likes by the end of the stream. 26 more likes. Let's at least get to 75. Scott James still doesn't miss. He doesn't. He doesn't. It must have been just a hologram or something we just saw. Must have been like a hologram. I'm thinking it was a hologram. Because Tanner wouldn't have missed that. No way. That must have been a hologram. All right, so they'll kick this ball down to the 5, and Warriors will pick it up. It's a 12-point game, so it's not like that really impacted too much of it. It just means they can't win on the next 2 tries. They can only tie it up. After that attempt, I think it's safe to say Tanner does miss sometimes. No. That's not what happens. That's wrong, Lagan. You're a liar. You're a liar. It was a hologram. It's a hologram, mate. Come on. You got to be serious. This is a serious channel, here, champion. This is a serious channel. You got to get yourself together. I want an apology, actually. I think the Tanner deserves an apology after that comment. So right-hand side for the Warriors. They get off the Tanner Boyd out to Marata Niokore, and Niokore before tackle at 45. Panovich says, how many seasons have you been doing the streaming? Consistently every game, probably 3, but overall I've been doing it probably since 2020, but we didn't do every game or anything like that. Because the only reason we started streaming was because of COVID. Because it's the only way we could do the games. Because obviously I used to only do the vlogs and stuff in the 2010s, and then I went to Chicago and still did some vlogs in 2019. There's an injury here. God bless him. Second tackle for Manly, they'll get the ball at 30. It was mainly COVID. COVID got us kick-started for the streams. That was actually Banner Toyd who kicked that. Came off the bench. Thank you, Levi. No, appreciate that one. We were a little bit unaware. But really grateful for you helping us out. Banner Toyd was actually the one who kicked that, not Tanner Boyd. So Manly now at the 45. I would trust Levi. Levi knows what he's talking about. So Luke Jake Simpkins will get this ball to the 50. Must have been the win. Tanner does not miss. That was Banner Toyd, as Levi said. Banner Toyd is the answer. So Manly into the corner, high kick, but an easy one there for Charles Neal-Klukstad to grab at the 15, and it'll be first tackle. Olivia says, wow, breaking news. Yeah, breaking news, that. Hologram or delusion? You are delusional, Brenton, because we just saw a hologram of Tanner Boyd. It was actually Banner Toyd. Laurie says, forfeit. Tonga's call him Tenga Boyd. No, it's Banner Toyd. Third tackle now at 30. And Warriors will give it off to Lekahata Simo, who brings it out at the 40 on fourth tackle. Yeah, you can see the misunderstanding now, Brenton. No, good to see. So the Warriors have an injury. I'm not too sure who that is, but he's come off the field here. I think, is it... it doesn't look great. Oh, it's a charge down here from Manly, and that's going to go over the sideline. No, they hit the ball back in the infield, and it's going to be play on. Well, that's very lucky because it would have been Warriors' fresh set, but instead Manly hit the ball back in the infield, and they'll get the ball first tackle now at the 40, and now second tackle, they'll be taken down at the 35, 38 or so, now 40. Geez, good work there from Lehigh. Yeah, we're changing the Lesnack. It was smart of him to... Luke Brooks has had a great game so far today, by the way. Third tackle now for Manly at the 50. No, he's already subbed off. Won't be back today. Can I see Banner Toyd take a run up? No, yeah, he's been subbed off. Tanner Boyd's on the field right now, mate. So Ben Trebojevic. He'll be at the 35 on the Warrior side of the field. 21.5 minutes to go of the Manly season. But also... of anyone's confidence in the Warriors. Caleb Navali, 28 metres away, fifth tackle. Jake Simpkin off to Cherry Evans, and Cherry Evans will put that one to the 10. The ball's going to be allowed to bounce. Manly knock it back. This is a penalty for the Warriors. Yeah, offside. Yep, penalty offside against Manly, so the Warriors will get themselves out of trouble here. Very lucky here for the Warriors, very lucky. So 20 minutes left to go of the game. Still a 12-point game here, Manly way. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Manly playing for vibes right now. Warriors also seem like they're playing for vibes, but the vibes aren't great. But it says, when does Brooks have a flawless game? Well, he's had a pretty good game here today. Well, he did win, was it 5/8 or halfback of the year? I think it was halfback of the year for the Tigers in, 2017, 2016? Because he was halfback back then, yeah? Oh, Aaron Clark has the offload away. Jeez, that was risky. Now Tanner Boyd will get this ball to the 40 on second tackle. 20 minutes left. Warriors fans, who do you prefer to play against next week, Panthers or Roosters? Listen, Warriors fans, that's your choice, but if you say Panthers, you're off your rocker. Warriors now, you're 40 metres out from the Manly line. Still only down by down by 12, but 6 when you get a try because Tanner Boyd doesn't miss. And Kurt Catewell, he'll run it out to the left. He gets away from one tackle, and then he'll get taken down to the 33 on four tackle. Yeah, halfback. Was it 2016? Or was it 2017? I think it was 2016, no? Short side play. Warriors at the 22. Let's see something here. Let's see something here. Tanner Boyd at the 25. He will kick that ball up in the air. The chase through is nice. I think it's a knock-on here from the Warriors. First Warriors, yeah. They may challenge this, but I do think it's first from the Warriors. Oh, it was 2017. Jane says, I'm a Sharks fan. I'm saying the words, come on, Manly. We live in a simulation, confirmed. So, Jane, I ask you why you care, really. Because overall, if you come 5th, you could still play any of Panthers, Roosters, Dolphins. If you come 6th, you could still play any of Panthers, Roosters. So it's like, does it really matter? Does it matter so much that you need to say, come on, Manly? Oh, no, there's an injury here for... Oh, is that Aaron Schuppe? Schuppmeister. Oh, it is. Yeah, God bless him. Aaron Schupp. Aaron Schupp with an injury here in the tackle. He's run the ball to the 15, and then maybe he's just twisted his ankle or something underneath. I don't know what it is, but it's unfortunate to see. Sophia says, yo, can you tell me how many tries scored so far? Probably about 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8. Lee Hopewade, Jay Simpkin, Lee Hopewade, Luke Brooks, Ethan Baltimore, Fisher Harris, Danilo Martinez, Lesniak, and Chance Nickel Klukstad. Chance Nickel Klukstad. Mitchell says 2018 apparently, just looked it up. Oh, it's 2018. Oh, wow. Shane says, I just prefer 5th over 6th in general. Okay, bit of a muchness, but sure. Like, it is one spot higher, but it's a bit of a muchness. Realistically, you get the same benefits as a team in 6th, regardless, and you're still playing any of the Panthers or Roosters, or potentially Dolphins, but realistically, Panthers or Roosters. But I'm not knocking it, I'm just saying it's a bit of a muchness. 19 minutes left here. Schupp is still down in the field, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, they keep showing Joey Walsh. I was wondering who that was on the sideline. They keep showing Joey Walsh. Obviously, he's the 14 today. It'd be nice to see him get a crack for the last 20. This game isn't over with yet. Ultimately, though, Manly season's done. Like, just chuck him on, Seabold. Chuck him on. Panu says you can put up a video on the side or background so we can see what you were talking. Hey, well done, Panu. I never thought about that. That's actually incredible. Joey Walsh is actually going to debut right now. I didn't think about that, Panu. Let me hold on 1 second here. Let me just go and get the game here. No. Did you think about that one? How about did you think about that one, Panu? So that's my answer to you. You know why? Because you're looking for an illegal stream, buddy. You're looking for an illegal stream. You cannot do that. You are a liar. You cannot do that. But Joey Walsh is about to debut here for Manly and come on the field for the last 19. Let's see it. Vasmus said the Sharks make the 4. I think they'll play the Storm and the Decider. Well, that's fantastic, Vasmus, but here's a big issue for you. For the Sharks to make the top 4, the Sharks are going to have to beat the Bulldogs by 82 points tomorrow. So I think that's going to be a bit of a hard marker to get to, especially with the Bulldogs' full-strength team, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. So Manly now will be second tackle here at the 15. The Sharks cannot make the top 4. The Sharks cannot make the top 4. Oh, you can see the game in my eye reflection. Going to report your stream. Yeah, Ryan, look, I think it's a good shout. I think you must do it. Third tackle at the 25. That's what I would do in your situation. And now Manly. Joey Walsh gets a touch and off to Ethan Bullimore, and the crowd goes up for him. Fourth tackle for Manly at the 30. Unfortunately, Aaron Schuppmeister has come off the field. Wow, there's a huge hit there. Huge hit, and they get the offload away Manly. Deary me, that was a massive hit. Fifth tackle here at the 40. Vasmus says, even if Broncos lose. Hi, Vasmus, do you realise the Broncos played last night, or did you miss the whole Broncos Storm game last night, or? So the Warriors here are going to bring this back to the 35. Good to see Roger Tuivasa-Sheck run that ball back hard. This is my bad. We had an entire 80 minutes of play last night with the Broncos game, and they beat the Storm. So Jared says, Panthers 100. If we can't start winning, then we shouldn't be there. Sure, but you'd rather get another week. Sure, I agree with that sentiment. I always argue that point. But if you're the Warriors, I would prefer to play an easier team to win and then hopefully get a bit of confidence about yourselves, because they're not going to have any confidence right now. Right inside, Tanner Boyd hits the grass. They will get the ball at the 40 on fit tackle. I was watching the AFL. Yeah, good win for Collingwood last night against the Crows. All right, so Tanner Boyd now at the 45. Big game between Cats and Lions tonight. Go to Catters. And they're going to let this ball bounce here, Manly. Oh my gosh, they're going to be so lucky that's going to go dead. Wow, that's lucky. That is not smart play from Tom Trbojevic. They got very lucky that that's going to be a 7-tackle set for Manly. SNWAC, or SN Wax, says Warriors the best team. Ooh, SN Whack, I'm going to whack you with something here, and I'm going to have to heavily disagree with you. 0 tackle here at the 28. And I think that you even disagree with yourself. Maybe not heavily, but you do. You do. You do disagree with yourself. Where the actual hell will Joey Walsh play? Well, potentially 14, because at the end of the day, Jamal Fogarty's going to be their 7 and Luke Brooks is going to be their 6 in 2026. So you'd assume it would have to be 14 if he's going to do it. Tom Trbojevic whacking the hit at the 45, third tackle. Is Carlton still playing like shit? Hey, Sean, Carlton are always playing like shit. Come on, Sean. Doesn't matter if you're in Melbourne, whether you're in Queensland, whether you're in Fiji, whether you're in Thailand. You could be in Azerbaijan and still know that Carlton are playing like shit. Joey Walsh with a very high kick. Tough one here for the Warriors to take. Manly going to grab this ball at 25, and it's going to be fit tackle. So they actually, that actually ended up being okay. I think Martin Selesnik thought that was fifth. So Sherry Evans now, he's going to put this one over the top. There's a play taken out here. That should be a penalty. Honestly, if I'm the Warriors, I'd nearly let them score. So the bunker is going to come into this. It's a no try, but I think Todd Smith's going to check if there was a play taken out. And they're going to check that Manly knocked it on first, but I'm pretty certain there should be a penalty to the Warriors. So Manly... Well... Oh, there's an elbow to the face there. To be fair, there's an elbow to the face of Chance in this play. Tom Trbojevic doesn't really... Well, they're all... Tom makes top contact. So, they're going to clear it. I wouldn't have cleared Tom, though. He gets there well early and makes the contact with Chance here. Chance is the victim here for sure. Well, there's definitely a touch there from Manly. I don't understand why they're clearing this and not penalising Manly. So Tom touches it first, and now they just need perspective of where it goes. Yeah, we'll clear a direct elbow to the face. Yeah, it's a clear elbow to the face. Commentary's going off about this too right now. Like, how on earth is this not a penalty to the Warriors? The chance has just been taken out by Tom Trbojevic, basically. And so they're going to say it's all play on. Well, Navali doesn't score anyway, so it's just going to be first tackle for the Warriors at the 2. But the bunker, again, has got this completely incorrect. Bunker's got it completely incorrect. Regardless, Warriors will get the ball here, but they'll get the ball at the 2 rather than the 10. And realistically, should have received a penalty just then. But, welcome to New Zealand. SN Wax's Heka Halasima is a good player. Yeah, Heka Halasima doesn't play rugby league. Leka Halasima, however, is a pretty decent player. But Heka Halasima, I'm not too sure who that is. Maybe he plays badminton. Second tackle now for the Warriors. They'll beat the 10. Batas says, the Brisbane Lions and Broncos years run in reverse parallel. When the Lions are doing well, the Broncos are down and vice versa. Not really anymore. Both the Broncos and the Lions are both in the top 4 this year. The Lions ended up coming 3rd. And so Clayton Falala has come off with the HIA. And now the clock has stopped here again. How's it not a foul on Warriors? He elbowed him in the head. Yeah, I have no idea how that's not a penalty to the Warriors for sure. And Tan says, Emily says hi. Get around you, Emily. Poor Chance got rolled there. Definitely should have been a penalty. 100% should have been a penalty to the Warriors. But are we surprised? So it's Ethan Bullimore here who's looking a little bit worse aware with a blood nose. God bless him. Jaden says, you ever been to Azerbaijan, Blaze? Yeah, no, definitely been to Azerbaijan, mate. I live there. Yeah, no, I've always grown up in Azerbaijan, mate. That's why I get around the Azerbaijani battlers in the rugby league. Very big rugby league team. I'm thinking they can win the NRL in 2032. We'll see. And now we've got SN Wack. Sam Ronaldo is a pretty good player. Are you drunk today, SN Wack, or what? Are you drunk today? You had a few too many brewskis? You're allowed to do it. It's a Friday night. Lagan says, surprised Chance didn't try and sook about that compared to others throughout the year. Well, I think he probably just would have assumed he was going to get a penalty for it. So the Warriors, it'll be 3rd tackle, and they'll bring this ball out here to the 20. Don't forget, guys, in 23 minutes' time, we'll be live for the Roosters versus the Rabbitohs. A massive rivalry game there where the Roosters must win the game. Aaron Clark gets his ball to the 32. This game could still go to extra time. The Warriors need to score two converted tries, but like it's still there. It's still there to be done. Warriors here at the 50. And Tanner Boyd, basic kick straight down the centre. And it's going to be Tom Trbojevic who picks it up at the 10. Warriors need to force an error here, really. 68 likes, a bit more. Yeah, we'll get to 75, Sean. I reckon we'll get to 75 likes by the end of the stream. 15 minutes to go of the game. 75 is what we'll look for. Yeah, I think we time we deal with that one, Shay, and the moderator team. Ben Trebojevic, he'll get that offload to Jerry Evans at the 30. And now they'll be 37 metres away here, third tackle. There's a 70th like. It took you that long to like it, did you, Highlanders fan? Got to get a grip of yourself there. Jay just went past the timeout and just... Oh, is that knock on? No, Manly held the ball at the 50. Now, fit tackle for Manly, and they've lost the ball. So, Warriors, 0 tackle at the 40. No, it's just going to be double knock on, but first knock on Manly. So, Warriors with the ball here at the 40. Jaden says, best scenario would be for South to ruin the Chook season and Dolphins to get a high-scoring upset win over the Raiders. Well, it doesn't matter in regards to the high scoring because the Dolphins are plus 87, the Roosters are plus 102. Raiders have rested pretty much all their players. Let's just assume the Roosters lose that game. You know, we'll go and say the Roosters lose by 6 to make it plus 96. The Dolphins only need to win by 10 points. So it's not like it needs to be a high-scoring game. But look, if the Roosters lose, then I do actually have the Dolphins to make the 8, and I think they'll run over the top of Canberra on Sunday. Especially being at KO as well. Especially being at KO. So Warriors left-hand side, and now they'll get this ball to the 45 on second tackle. Entertainer says DC is so bad tonight. Yeah, almost as bad as what the Denver Broncos will probably be like this year. So Marata Niokore, third tackle at 35. Roll it back to Tamati Martin. He gets a little bit up worse aware there, Niokore, but he's still going. And now Aaron Clark gets away from a couple. He's still going here at the 20, the 25. That's my boy, Ez. What a run from Ez. 15 metres out. Warriors, here's your chance to get back into the game. Right-hand side to Chance Hill Crookstad. He gets it across. Kate Well. Watani Lesniak goes backwards. And he'll cut this ball all the way across. Gives it to Grassy McGrath. And at least we've seen a lot less errors in the second half compared to the first half. 10 errors for Manly in the first half. 8 errors for the Warriors. So at least we've seen a lot better in the second half. Tamati Martin. Off to Tanner Boyd. Here we go. Here's your chance. Warriors. Halasima coming through. Knocked back. A knock on from the Manly Seagulls. So 6 again. 0 tackle for the Warriors. 8 metres out. Here's your chance, New Zealand. Make a game of it. Make a game of it here, New Zealand. Here is your chance. To Muddy Martin. Out to Harris Tavita. Why is that first tackle and not 0 tackle? But okay. Warriors now 10 metres out. Why is that not 0 tackle? Second tackle now for the Warriors, 10 metres away. Out to Fisher Harris, and Fisher Harris is going to be 7 metres away, third tackle. To Muddy Martin. He'll give it to Tanner Boyd. Tanner Boyd to Harris Tavita. They go quickly. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck steps on the inside. He's still going. He'll be 4 metres away from the line, third tackle. Third tackle, 4 metres out. Give it to Harris Tavita, then to Aaron Clark. Wow, that's a late hit. That's a penalty. Well, there's a penalty that should be coming up there for the Warriors. Watani Lesniak will get taken down to the 15. How on earth was that not a penalty for a late hit? How on earth was that not a penalty? Anyway, Tanner Boyd here at the 20 off to Fisher Harris. Really lackluster run there from Fisher Harris, but he gets away from a couple and then gets crunched out the 18. You need to see more from your captain there, lads. You need to see way more from your captain in that situation. Tanner Boyd will kick this ball out here to the corner. Roger coming up for it, but Jason Saab with a great grab at the 10. Got to be honest with you, awful attack from the Warriors. Don't know how there wasn't a penalty for a late hit on a player without the ball, but Warriors again, attack was very dribble. And knock on from Manly. Okay, they want the Warriors back in the game. They want the Warriors back in the game. Manly, it's going to be Warriors ball to 20. Well, Bunker can't get involved there, Lagan. So Bunker is selling you, say, that's not the Bunker's fault they didn't penalise Manly. That's on the referee in that situation because the clock didn't stop, the game wasn't stopped, so it is play on, and the Bunker can't intervene in that situation. But they can come back and put him on report, but they can't intervene in that situation to give the Warriors a penalty. So 10 minutes to go here of the game, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Massive game between the Rabbitohs and the Roosters right after this. Wow, hard-earned index. Aaron Clark's on 90. The next best is Corey Waddell on 55. Jeez, Aaron's been working harder today comparatively. All right, so 15 metres out from the line. Tamati Martin goes to Fisher Harris. We usually see knock-ons from him in this situation, so just hold the ball and play the ball here, James. He's 10 metres out. Tamati Martin. He'll give it to Aaron Clark, and Aaron Clark is going to get that offload away, and it's a knock-on from the Warriors. Oh, my gosh. You've got to be expecting the offload there. For fuck's sake, Warriors. You've got to be expecting the offload there. It's not good enough from the Warriors, man. You've got to be expecting the offload. You're attacking in the 10. Aaron Clark has been getting away offloads all day today. He's been working hard. You've got to expect the offload. It's a knock-on for Warriors, and the Manly get the ball to 15. Crazy stuff. Maybe touched by Manly, but called back and Wise recovered the balls for first instead of 0. Well, no, it's definitely a knock-on from Manly. It was 100% touch knock-on from Manly. You saw, I think it was Ben Boyovich knocked the ball directly forward 5 metres. That's obviously not what the referee called, but that's what happened. Like it says, isn't it crazy Fisher Harris only weighs 103 kilos? Josh Curran is heavier. That is actually quite crazy. But it's all muscle. Sean James says, it's good to see New Zealand getting the shit out of their system this game. Silver Towel's not in the 8. Yeah, Manly definitely not going to be in the 8, but Warriors, with their back end of the season, lucky to be there, but their first part of the season was good enough to get them here. Oh, forward pass, yeah. Jeez, this game's really fallen into the shitter. Warriors ball at 32 with a forward pass to Manly. Well, you know how I was talking about how there's not much errors in this second half? Well, they're creeping back in. So Manly are currently on 14 errors now with that forward pass, and the Warriors are currently on 12. So 4 more errors in the second half for the Warriors, 4 more errors for Manly in the second half. It is good to see Seabold getting angry. At the end of the day, though, I don't think he's a good coach. Tony says, but it's all muscle. Wish he could muscle his way for us to win. Get there. Look, I agree, but ultimately, I also wouldn't say that Fisher Harris is the reason why the Warriors are struggling. Seabold knows his coaching career is gone. Yeah, but who do they go? Nay says, can Waz do a wildcard finals trade-off with a team that might have a go, please? Yeah, we'll get the Titans in, mate. Oh, Titans are minor premiers, so maybe we'll chuck in Manly. maybe this should have been the wildcard game. So the Warriors, they're going to be 29 metres away from the line. Let's 6 again. Let's see if the Warriors, with all this attacking possession, can do something this time without making a mistake. So first tackle for the Warriors, 25 metres out. Harris to Vita, at the back of Tanner Boyd, at the back again to Chandler Klukstad. He goes at himself. Luke Brooks with a decent enough tackle at 13. Second tackle. 8 minutes and 10 seconds left. Kurt Catewell to Tanner Boyd. Tanner Boyd up to Fisher Harris, and Fisher Harris just hold. Oh my God. Oh, Jay, it's a knock on Manly, lucky. You're lucky, but Fisher Harris tried offloading the ball there. In a time we probably shouldn't have been, and lucky for him, it's a knock on Manly. Mr. Peter Corey says, what are the Manly playing for? Nothing, really, dude. Like, they'll go equal with the Roosters, but it was an 82-point swing they needed. They're currently at needing the Rabbitohs to beat the Roosters by 70 points. And yes, Olivia's right. They are playing for Mad Monday. They are. Growth Mindset says, sure. Sure to what? All right, so Warriors here, 15 out. Please show us something here, Warriors. Please, give us something to believe in you for next week against either the Panthers or the Roosters. Or the Dolphins. Probably, no, actually, no, it won't be the Dolphins. Warriors can only play Panthers or Roosters. No, they can only play Panthers or Roosters because the Dolphins can't get 7th. And Warriors go for a quick scoot. Sam Healy will score. Okay. 7 minutes to go here. It's right in front of the post. Tanner Boyd, guess what? They're not going to fall for this one because they have to get it. They have to get it, Brenton. Hey, Brenton, I bet you $1 trillion. $1 trillion that Tanner Boyd gets his kick. I bet you a gajillion. A gajillion that Tanner Boyd gets his kick because he doesn't miss. So try time for Samuel Healy, who deserves it. He's been incredible today. He's been, for mine, him and Aaron Clark have been clearly the 2 best Warriors players, and Aaron Clark's want to play that ball there. And Healy just strong to the line. They did call it as a try. I can't see from that angle the ball going down. I can't see from that angle. And I think they've confirmed the tries. It must be the other angle that showed it. Latu says, not game-related thoughts on Samoa vs Tonga. We'll be live streaming that game later on this year. I think it's an interesting game, man. I think it'll go close, but I do think Samoa have a better team. I do. But it'll be an interesting game. It'll be very interesting because Tonga is still very good. I just think that Samoa have progressed. And I was saying it in 2020, 2021 that even though people were very hype on Tonga, I was saying Samoa was coming, and they definitely have come. Oh, I didn't really see the ball actually hit the ground there, but they confirmed there's a try. So it's 26-20. Manly with 6 minutes to go of the game. Manly fans can actually criticise that because unless they had a proof angle, there wasn't actually a guarantee that was a try. Fiji will be a dark horse. Dark horse for what, Michael? They're in the Pacific Bowl. They're playing Papua New Guinea and Cook Islands. The Pacific Cup is between New Zealand, Samoa and Tonga. Australia's playing England and England for an Ashes series. Fiji are playing Papua New Guinea and Cook Islands. And I tell you this, so Warriors ball, they'll get this ball to the 15 on first tackle. 6 points away after Tanner Boyd does not miss. 6-point game. I tell you this, as an Australian, but also I've grown up in Fiji all my life, and my daughter is Return Fijian, I will always say to you that, Warriors knocked the ball on at the 20, that's just awful. So Manly 0 tackle at the 30. I will always say to you that Fiji always lose to Papua New Guinea. I don't know what it is, but Fiji always have a better team on paper, and the Papua New Guineans still always beat them. They always beat them. The Kumals always beat the Bati. Always. Regardless of the talent on the Fijian roster. Yeah, Fiji won a game against Papua New Guinea the other year in the regular season matchup of the Pacific Bowl, and then still lost by a big margin in the Pacific Bowl final. Rick says, now this is where the ref will start making shit calls. To be fair, there was some shit calls throughout this game already. But Manly will get a 6 again. 10 metres out from the line. Calvin Navali. Regardless, though, like the Warriors, if they win this game, sure, either team who wins it deserves it, but the Warriors haven't done enough to prove a lot of the doubters wrong yet. Second tackle is 6 metres out. Warriors, you have to stop this try with 5 minutes left of the game. They go right-hand side. Simpkin off to Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans underneath. Corey Waddle. It would be nice to see Ches get a try in his final moments here for Manly. Across his career, Cherry Evans will go himself. He will take him down 7 metres out, 4 tackle. This is a game-defining defensive set here, Warriors. You need to hold him out. Matt Lodge, 5 metres out. What do Manly do here? Fit tackle. 5 metres away. They go for the field goal. It's going to be a 7-tackle set if they miss it, but Cherry Evans will kick the field goal to make it 27-20. So he won't get the try, but he will get the field goal, which is nice to see. Now, the Warriors still have a chance here. There's 4 minutes 20 left of the game. The Warriors will still get a chance, but it's a risky play there, because if he does miss it, it's a 7-tackle set for the Warriors. It was right in front. He goes with his left foot, and then will just sneak it inside the left upright, but he does get it, and Jay does love a sneaky field goal, Olivia. 27-20 to Manly with 4 minutes 20 to go of the game. Lutz says PNG is Fiji's daddy. Yeah, and myself, obviously, when Australia's not playing, I'll always support Fiji. You know, Dosoviti, I'll always get around the Fiji Bati. But facts are facts, you know. Papua New Guinea just always seems to have Fiji's number. It's just like, well, Fiji comes from Papua New Guinea, like they're Melanesian, right? So maybe it's like because they're more. It's a weird thing to say. Maybe it's like it is like their daddy in a lot of ways. It is. Oh, that's going to bounce back and over the sideline. Warriors get the ball here at the 40. The Warriors get the ball here 42 metres out. Field goal, bing bong, mada boosh. Alphonse says Aussie is PNG's star. What? Are you trying to compare Papua New Guinea with Australia? Is that what you're doing here? I think Manly want to challenge this, but it's been longer than 10 seconds. 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go here of the game. Warriors will get the ball 44 metres out. They need to score a converted try and then kick a field goal. That was Manly's first and only field goal this season. Fair enough. Laptop is heading to the Musket Cove water, David says. Fair enough. So 3 minutes and 33 seconds to go of the game. Warriors will get a scrum, 42 metres out. And yes, like Jay said there with the link, Roosters versus Rabbits up next. Roosters versus Rabbits, we will be live on the next stream. Tanner Boyd rolls it back to Samuel Healy. Healy off to Roger Tuivasa-Sheck with a strong run to the 35. First tackle, you have to score on this set here, Warriors. And then you have to score again. 2-point field goal, win it for you. But Fisher Harris, he'll be 28 metres away. A penalty would win it for you too there. Samuel Healy, that's obviously assuming you get a converted try here. Tanner Boyd short into the line. Catewell gets away here. And we take it down 18 metres out, third tackle. 3 minutes 12 left. They go short side. Chance Nickel Klukstad 3 metres away. Jeez, Manly fell asleep there, but luckily Luke Brooks stops it. And arguably should be 6 again. No, it won't be. 4th tackle now, 13 metres out. Tanner Boyd at the back into Aaron Clark. They spread it left, and it's a knock on Harris DeVita. Cherry Evans will pick it up, and that for me should be the game. And it's the story of the game for the Warriors. It's the story of the game. You know, they were spreading it out to the left-hand side. Like, Manly have made a lot of mistakes here to get the Warriors back into the game, but the Warriors just keep on doing their own mistakes as well. But I think the next game will be high-scoring. Potentially, Snicksar, but I do think the Roosters should win quite convincingly. I do. Growth Mindset says diabolical wise. It just is. Even Warriors fans have to admit it. This has been a disgraceful performance today. You can't hate on Aaron Clark and you can't hate on Samuel Healy, but outside of that, you can criticise the rest of the team. You know, Rogers ran the ball hard, so I wouldn't criticise him too heavily. But overall, I would criticise this Warriors team again. They haven't done enough here, and it's like the Warriors can't use an excuse of we're not playing for anything, because you should be emphasising a run into the finals, and you should have been using this game as a real platform against a Manly team that concedes a lot of points, but then again, they score a lot of points, and look at the score. It's 27-20. It's a lot of points conceded from Manly, but a lot of points scored from Manly. It's a very typical Manly game. But says there's something in the water up here in saying that we are not ready for an NRL team regardless of what people say. We need a junior program. Oh, Roger Tavas rolls the ball at the back with the offload. Gives it to Watani Zalesniak. Watani Zalesniak, it's away here. He's away. He's at 30. He's at 35 to 40. The 45 to 50. Watani Zalesniak, he's going to kick it through for himself, and that's a penalty. That's a sin bin. That's a sin bin. That's a sin bin. Even though there's only a minute 20 to go, Tom Trbojevic will go to the bin. Yeah. So a minute 20 to go here. Tom Trbojevic will go to the bin. It's the correct call here. Minute 13 to go. You need to score a converted try, and then you'll get the ball back, and then you'll have to go for a field goal. But that is definitely a sin bin against Tom Trbojevic. But I will agree with you, Buttas. I am excited for Papua New Guinea coming in, but I will agree with you that they're not ready, and that's why I think they'll be delayed from 2028 to 2029, maybe even 2030. But I do agree with you. So Warriors, a minute 13 to go. They'll have to be very quick with this. They'll have to be super quick. Smart from Tom. Yeah, it is smart from Tom. If there was 8 minutes to go, 9 minutes to go, not smart from Tom. But with a minute 10 to go, like, it was a must-do. Like, realistically, Manly shouldn't be conceding twice here in the last minutes to go of the game. So first tackle for the Warriors, 25 metres out. They'll give it to James Fisher-Harris, who's going to be 18 metres away from the line now. Second tackle. You have to score quickly here, Warriors, and then score again. Samuel Healy. He'll go right. If you get a penalty, you just go for the 2, and it's going to be right near Corey, 13 metres out. There is even potentially an argument to not take the kick. Healy's going to be 7 metres out, 36 seconds. You need to make a real quick kick if you even choose to do it. 32 seconds left, 4th tackle to Buddy Martin, 6 again, doesn't matter. Tanner Boyd, short ball into the line, Halasima, 5 metres out. You're going to have to not take the kick if you score. It's a penalty. Take the 2. Take the 2, and it's another bin. You're going to take the 2 quickly here, Warriors. You're going to take the 2 quickly here. 17 seconds left. The Warriors are going to have 13 on 11 with the last play of the game. They're going to take the 2. They get it. They'll be within 5. It's going to be 13 on 11 here. It's going to be Jazz Tavung in the bin. No, don't go. I wouldn't even go for the try here. I wouldn't go for the try. I'd go for the 2. No, Warriors. No, Warriors. What the fuck are you doing? That is the most insane decision from a team I've ever seen in my life. Tanner Boyd will get this ball to Dalmatine Lesniak, and you're going to score, but the game's over. That is the most ridiculously dumb decision from a rugby league team I've ever seen. The only way for you to win that game was to take the 2. Now you're going to lose by either 3 points or a point. You've scored on the siren. You had to take the 2. There was no other option. That's actually insane work. You take the 2, you're within 5, you've got 10 seconds left of the game. You throw the ball around 13 on 11. You actually had a genuine chance to win that game just then, Warriors, and you've decided to lose it by 3 or 1 point instead. That's crazy. I think he might even put that ball on the sideline. Like, that's crazy work from New Zealand. Like, it's just low IQ. It's low IQ. Because if there's still a minute to go there, sure, go for the try, right? But with 13 seconds left, you have an option down by 7. You still have to score twice. You have an option to go for the 2. You take that 2, you bring it within 5. You'll have 13/10 seconds left on the clock with the ball in hand, 13 on 11. Yes, you'll have to run 90, 80 metres, but at the end of the day, you've got the ball in hand, and you have to score a try to win the game. You've got it's just a 1-score game. Rick says, as usual, leaving it all to the last minute. Well, that's true too, Rick. You know, that's true too. But Tanner Boyd, even the sideline, it just was the wrong decision from New Zealand. It is a brain fart, Olivia. It is a brain fart. And then Tanner Boyd will get the kick from the sideline. So you're going to lose by 1. You're going to lose by 1. That's stupid from New Zealand. It's actually mind-baffling. They're going to lose 27-26. Obviously, Cherry Evans' field goal is going to win it for them. Yeah, Warriors, like, that was low IQ rugby league at the end of that game. Yeah, that is full-time. Manly will win 27-26. I'm going to have to jump off here, guys. We're going to rush across to the Roosters versus Rabbitohs stream. Yeah, low IQ stuff there from the Warriors, which cost them a chance at winning that game. But also, were they good enough to win the game from the start? Not really. Overall, that is all, folks. Manly season, that is done. They would need the Roosters to lose by 81 points today, which is good luck with that. Warriors, they will finish off the season in 6th position. So the Sharks, no matter what tomorrow, doesn't matter. They just they are going to be in 5th regardless, but it's a big game against the Bulldogs anyway. Yeah, look, sorry Warriors fans, I can't give you a positive rap on how that game finished because there's just no world that you shouldn't have been taking that to. There is no world. That is a very, very silly low IQ decision from the New Zealand Warriors. But anyway, guys, I'm going to jump off here. Appreciate you. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. I'll see you in literally about a minute's time for the Roosters versus Rabbitohs game. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.